Dog, you lit.
I'm telling you, man. Those books are good to read for sure. All of them. Especially those ones at the top. I actually got them. I got those ones stacked up there for my girlfriend to read. Yeah.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I heard of that book. I have not read it yet. That's a good book.
Yeah, bro. That right there. Yeah, bro. That is a classic for sure.
Golly, bro, you are on it. Accounting for dummies, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Gotta learn accounting, you know, basic shit.
Social intelligence, bro. You're on to something major.
Yes, sir, bro. If you want to flip that switch right there
Which one?
on your
On the
mic, yeah.
microphone, that will turn your mic on.
Yo. Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Can you hear yourself now?
Yeah, it feels like a studio now.
Yes,
It's
sir.
But more about your fucking books. Not swing. It's lit.
Hell yeah. You fuck with those?
Yeah, man. So, hey, is that... Because you usually can tell, like, a lot about a person by the books they read.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I could tell you're highly intelligent, man.
I appreciate you.
A lot
man.
more
It's
books
just-
on your shelf than mine, I'll tell you that much.
Carson's,
Oh, yeah.
Carson's really smart, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to
about
brag
all
about it,
that.
but it's okay.
You don't
I
want to brag
understand,
about it.
I understand.
I'm just here, you know.
Just doing
I think
your
there was
thing.
like it was kind of like a quote from
I'm
Bruce
just doing
Lee.
my
It's like
thing.
he said something like, "If I told you I was good, it would seem like I'm bragging. But if I told you if I was bad, I'd be lying."
Yeah, so
Nah, facts, though.
I'm just here, you know.
So what's your
Hey.
inspiration for your art, bro? What drugs do you take?
Bro, I don't
Let's
take
talk.
any drugs anymore.
Anymore, it's crazy.
I swear to God, yeah. I actually used to I used to just smoke a lot of pot, really.
Word.
Yeah, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I used to do shrooms sometimes.
Mhm.
Used to do LSD.
LSD's crazy. I haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
but I've heard stories enough to where I don't want to do it.
Yeah, bro, you take anything?
I've only smoked and shrooms.
Oh yeah.
Very recently. Shrooms recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. One of those situations where it's like, all right, cool, took too much, you know what I'm saying?
Yep,
And
that
I
happened to
saw,
me.
I saw a couple things to where like
Mhm.
it opened up this whole new world for me.
Yes, sir.
But that's how I got Oswald. I literally got that entire project out of a crazy shroom trip. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
So,
I think
like,
you told me about that
mhm.
shit.
So yeah, it was an experience I really can't even
Yeah.
fathom to talk about.
Oh yeah, me too, bro.
You see things like I was like watching water drip off the ceiling type shit. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? I like
Absolutely.
went to Ego
Damn.
Death, saw the beings and all that type of shit. Like
Yeah.
real eye opening experience.
Yeah, bro. And
Mhm.
before I took the shrooms, I actually had some thoughts in my mind, and I was or like LSD, because we did a long road down LSD. We would take it just every once in a while,
Mhm.
but if we took it with a mindset in mind to begin with, so that we knew what we was fucking with, and so that we knew the right path to go to, because you could with all those drugs and shit, like I usually just gravitate towards just the safe ones, you know, and
Yeah,
the
true.
ones like now I'm really anti-drug,
Yeah.
but like used to. And if anybody's really gonna take drugs, I think it's really just like LSD and shrooms and weed, of course.
Facts.
You
Yeah.
know, but and honestly, now I'm just a big anti-drug guy.
Yeah, I seen I watched like a lot of like 70s videos, like you know, that type of period, because you know Jimi Hendrix is one of my biggest inspirations just for
Yeah.
art in general. But there was this like hippie lady talking, and she was like, you just need to take shrooms one time. It's like you don't have to take these things a lot of
Yeah,
times. People
definitely.
think you got to keep taking it to like keep driving that creativity. You take it one good time, you never need to take it again. You feel me? So like
yeah.
like I feel like people cross over that line of abuse really easily. You feel me? Like that. So like yeah, I just literally just took it that one time, and that was it for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one
For sure.
I probably won't go that high ever again, just because of
How much did you take?
see, I did with like depersonalization and shit, so I don't need to take a lot to go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So I took like probably like 2 grams maybe.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But the thing
Bruh.
is though, listen, my scale was messed up, so I thought I was taking way less.
Oh shit.
Oh,
And
damn.
I took Golden Teachers the first time I did it.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's like a mid-range strain. Then I took Penis Envies, and that's like 8 times stronger than Golden Teachers. So I
Yeah.
took more of a stronger strain.
See,
and
bro,
that shit really like
Damn.
Yeah.
I wasn't really aware of the strains of shrooms.
there's fucking strains.
I
bro.
had
Or like
no
it's like families
idea.
or some shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
There's- bro. Pay attention to
Yeah.
that shit if you ever do it. bro.
Definitely. No, I ain't gonna do
Yeah.
that shit again.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, but like your paintings just look so awe-inspiring. You had to come and get them from another place. It feels like.
Oh yeah, bro. It's just I appreciate it, man. I just, you know,
Just do it.
I just do it. You know what I'm saying? I just do it.
You
Yeah.
come up with these things pretty quickly too. Like that one was just
Oh yeah.
on a spur of a moment type thing. I remember you just asking me like,
Yeah.
how many legs does like a spider have, and then the next time I come out here and this whole damn thing's done.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I heard Rick Rubin say like artists draw from like this ether. You know what I'm saying? Like and just pull down these different thoughts because like no painting and like no art is like a perfect interpretation of what happens in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like we pull down these thoughts to try to create these different, you know, images that we get inside of, you know, our heads. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To see like this is what you receive. You know what I'm saying? Mine's obviously I receive music. You know what I'm saying? I hear things sonically. So like it's just cool to see like a visual artist display what they're receiving too.
Yeah, bro.
Even some of your more, I mean, obviously your art is more abstract, but like your like just your skate work is just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of focus on it.
Hell yeah.
How long does like one painting or picture take?
It really depends. It really, really depends. If I get into a mode, like I can get one painting done just like that. Like I can get one, like that one right there. Actually, took me like a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a couple hours, but like another one, like even like a small one may take me like, it may take me like days. You know what I'm saying?
I remember when you were at the beach, you made like at least 3 small ones.
Oh yeah, and I was just at the beach for like 3 days or so. Like this one took me a few days. That one right there, but some of them I just like whenever I get into that mode, you know. That's
similar to like music in a way. Like, does your inspiration come in like spurts? Like where you have to like, because my inspiration comes in spurts. Like I'll spend so much time gaining inspiration for things like just from just living life, and like just going through life experiences. Then after a while of doing that, like I'll just have a crazy spurt of like outward. You know what I'm saying? Everything's just inward. I'm collecting. All of a sudden, like I get this outward push for it, like displaying what I've found. And all of a sudden, when that spurt happens, it's like a month or so. Then I have to take advantage of that and just create. I'll make I'll make like 10 songs in a week or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I have to like really take advantage of that period. I think this is the first time where I took like a year and a half to sit on the project and like work on it and cultivate it. Make sure. You ever get like writer's block? I feel like writer's block only happens whenever you apply too much pressure to yourself to create. So like whenever I have like a deadline or like I'm like on a feature or something like that and I have to create and I'm forced to create, then I run into writer's block because I'm like, damn, like what am I'm thinking all of a sudden. You feel me? Like I feel like art doesn't come from thought. It comes from like a specific area in your creative conscious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like the left brain region and your right brain region. Oh, literally. So yeah. So it really comes from a separate party. So like literally, so like when you're thinking about it too much and you're not allowing it to just flow through you, then you start running into like writer's block and stuff like that. So
because real art isn't meant to be like pumped out like a factory, bro. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So like just let it come naturally, and then all of a sudden, all that fades away. Next thing you know, I'm making a whole nother project. Yeah, that's where I'm at now. Well, see, if you do it right, you can pump it out like a factory.
If you're like tapped in, real. But if you have like a factory mindset, if you train your brain, I see what you're saying.
If you train your brain to get into that form quicker, and to just whenever you go, like make it kind of like
it's like being stuck in that mode in a way.
Like, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Mode. Like if you can, I don't know how to stay in that vein though. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I have to,
do it all the time, constantly. Right. If you don't want to do it, force yourself.
I probably got to do that seriously because like
I'm serious. That's like whenever I was making music, that's how I would get those breakthroughs. Like whenever I didn't want to make music and I'm like essentially like a writer's block and I didn't really have any creativity in me at the time. You have to force it.
It's like it instills in discipline, discipline.
And then I have a question, like, exactly. Do you have throwaways? Like, do you create like a lot of throwaways when you're in that process?
Like, like
when you're working through a writer's block and you're just like trying to like create,
like in music,
you like to force yourself to do it. Yeah. Do you like have a lot of?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
like, that's the thing though. Like,
see, whenever I know what you're about to say, and whenever you're thinking about it too much, and you're like, I'm trying to make this like perfect right here. But you have to once you start onto a project, and then you're in that project, you essentially got to just keep on going with that project, and if you don't like it, you can switch it up or. You can honestly. There's been times where I've just said, fuck it. And I just kept on going with it just to see how it would turn out. And sometimes I didn't like it. Sometimes I loved it. You know, but like whenever you're in that process, there's going to be times where, like whenever I'm painting, there's times whenever I'm in the middle of a project and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like most of the time whenever I'm painting and I'm listening to it, I'm like, I do not fuck with this at all. Like, I actually hate this painting. Or like whenever I was making music, I'm like, I actually hate this song. And then I just kind of want to throw it away. But then whenever I do throw it away, you don't know the outcome of it. But whenever I don't throw it away, there's sometimes at the end of it, whenever I'm like, oh, fuck, I fuck with this heavy. But then there's sometimes where I'm like, nah. And then that would be one that I would just keep, but I don't post or something. And then actually sometimes like, a year down the road or so, I'll listen to it and I'm like, oh, that shit's hard, you know? And I didn't like it in that moment, and I play it for other people, or like some of these paintings that I don't like, it's their favorite painting.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? So once you push through it, you know, it's because it's in the eyes of the beholder.
Facts.
So like, you may not like it, but in creativity or in art, you know, there may be other eyes that may resonate with that art better than other people.
Yeah.
It's also hard to like step back from your art, like when you're so deep in that process and like you've been spending hours and hours with it. You're basically like sucked into it, and then it's like a normal person who's not so attached to it can like take a different perspective and like see it differently.
Ruben talked a lot about that too. Just like letting the art, like it's an artist. He said something like it's an artist duty to create. Yeah, like bro. Genius, like it's an artist duty to create, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Even if it's not for you, you know what I'm saying? It may not even be to your taste or represent you well, but you creating it may be for someone else, you know what I'm saying? For someone else's interpretation. Like when we talk to that lady, like she has an entirely different perspective on life, you know what I'm saying? She's went through her own life experiences. A piece of art that wouldn't generally represent me might represent her life perfectly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I understand that 100%. I'm saying the problem with me, like I say, the kink in my armor is that I'm a severe like overthinker. Like everything I do, every art I create, it's like heavily premeditated.
Like overanalyze,
overanalyze.
Like
so
like paralysis
when it comes to like
or something.
Like having throwaways, I don't really have any throwaways. Like almost everything I create is like something I'm going to use. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I think I'm starting to work through that, and especially like with what I'm working on now. I've been working my way to just create freely and just like make something that I'm gonna enjoy making and just enjoy the process. So like, that's where I'm at now with art. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm starting to feel that freedom again when it comes to creating.
Yeah, I fuck with that. How long you been making music for?
Golly, too fucking long. No, I'm just playing. Like I've been releasing music, or like at least making songs to release for like 6 years maybe. Yeah. But before that, it was drawing. It was drawing, painting, a lot of visual arts. And then I started getting into poetry and reading poetry.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got intrigued with language. And then after that, music.
I can tell with, like, because you're real lyrical.
Yeah.
Like more lyrical than a lot of other people, like, especially, like, mainstream artists.
90s lyricism. Lyricism was, like, heavy. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way people use language, like, wordsmiths, like, so actually paint a skate with their, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then after that, I was on that like heavy for a couple years. Then I started getting into like, there's levels to it. There's levels to creation. Yeah. So after I finished studying language and like, you know, falling in love with that, I realized there's this whole world called art. You know what I'm saying? Outside of just music and lyricism, there's art. So it's like now I'm making soundscapes and trying to create feelings through sound. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's where my heart has genuinely always been at. I just never had the know-how to do it. But now that I have the tools and the know-how and the vision to create, now I'm just into creating sound, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And using my lyrical ability to foster the sounds that I'm creating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And there's also like you kind of have to get on that line of, you know, flow and putting the words together as well. I know exactly how that shit is. And like, I think the words are really underrated. But I think if you try too much on the words, that it may not catch for some people. Yeah. Because a lot of people nowadays just listen to music for the beat. Yeah. So you kind of have to balance it both. Like you know Eminem, like nowadays, like he, like lyrically, like it's almost perfect. You know, because he will literally rhyme like three bars
Yeah,
with each other.
Yeah,
like 3 whole bars with each other, and usually you'll catch the rhyme. Most rhyme schemes is usually like the very last word,
like A B, like just regular.
exactly. A B A B A B. You know what I'm saying? But bro's doing A B C.
Yeah.
ABC, ABC.
Yeah,
you know?
DE, like everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But that's true though. And that's the difference between like art, and that's one thing people always discredit this generation for the music that we create. But I feel like this generation is more art centric and more fluid with their creation and less brick and mortar.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I feel like
definitely.
I feel like our generation is more like, whereas previous generations were more logical with like the lyrics. Our generation is more like in tune with our like feelings. Like, how does this beat make me feel? How does this song make me feel? How does this artist persona make me feel?
The thing is, it's not necessarily like this generation. It's like a constant fluctuation between the two. Because coming from like the 70s and rock and that psychedelic movement, it was about the feel, you know, and then it turned into lyricism, just constant back and forth between logic and emotion. And it's a constant battle between the two. So like where we're at now is really just not so much about the lyricism and more about how the art makes you feel, and that's something I'm really starting to tap into myself. You know what
I feel like once you combine, once you figure out like you get to your peak, you're gonna be able to combine like both the lyrics and the feeling of the beat and the energy.
And that's the goal.
I
think
think that's when you'll reach your peak. I think
that's the goal for any sonic artist, is just to create music that people can feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the first time that I hopped on stage and I saw someone cry, I was like, okay, like there's something more to this than just lyricism. Like, whenever you can hit somebody in their emotional chord, you know you're creating for real. And the only way to really do that is to create something that hits you in your emotional chord. You're not just trying to be lyrically talented. You're not just trying to prove that you're the best lyricist. You're creating something that truly and utterly like represents who you are in your most like in your most essential form. You know what I'm saying? Like your most like without all the extra. You know what I'm saying? Like we have like all these different coverings and things that we do to like, you know, work up who you are as a person, but in your most archaic form, like who you are, that's what we're supposed to be focusing on as an artist. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. And it's different. You know what I'm saying? It stands out. It's not, it doesn't represent my city. It doesn't represent anything that people know about me. It's just, it represents me. You know what I'm saying? And for a long time, I couldn't say that. I'm saying, obviously, I love my city. I'm from the Forest, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? But, like, but me being myself represents my city better. It creates a wider spectrum of what we are. You know what I'm saying? So it's lit.
Yeah, bro. What do you what is your plan with like marketing with it?
Yeah.
Because that right there is
that's the thing. We were just
that's the
about
biggest
this shit in the car,
aspect.
bro. Like,
really, that's really because the creativity is really like 20% of it.
Literally, like the creation process, like the creation process is the artist part. But when it comes to like being a musician, bro, is 90% art. And I went to school for marketing. That's what I went to school for. So like, bro, all you do is market and just getting creative. You feel me? A lot of artists in this generation, we was talking about this earlier, is just direct to consumer. You feel me? And it's cool to do that, and you should have a great relationship with your audience. But it doesn't necessarily widen your, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't widen your audience. It just it targets the people that already fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So like now I'm starting to realize I gotta broaden that. You feel me? And the only way to broaden that is to work through other influencers, work through just about anything to get your name out there. There was this guy, this industry connect that one of my friends made. He said you want to treat your releases as if you're trying to be president. Your campaign is if you're running for president. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it in that stance and you treat your releases like a presidential campaign, you have a whole new perspective on how to release your music. And that's what I've been doing. I just basically promo, but not just from on my page. Like I'm having like a team of people promoing in different areas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
I see what you're saying.
I'm only one person, and I'm not signed. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this as an independent artist. So like, not being signed, I have to figure out how to have 8 arms at one time.
Absolutely.
You know so like, the only way to do that is to have people in position in different places to do those things for you. So like, I'm hitting blogs, like 150 blogs. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm doing everything. And another thing, art is, especially music, it's a pay to win game. Like people bullshit and pretend like you can make good music. There's so many good artists.
There's so many out there, especially now where people don't have to go through a record label.
Exactly.
They can just put it directly into the distribution channels.
And it's so like, so that being said, there's a lot of artists that never get figured out. The only way to do this shit for real, I got a job. You feel me? Start grinding, and I'm putting all of it back into my music. Bought professional microphones, bought professional recording equipment, invested in my friends to make sure they can learn. And they can do what they need to do in order to create the highest level. Professional music videos, like everything is top of the line because that's what it takes. That's the industry standard. And if you want to compete on the industry level without actually being in the industry, you have to do things that they would portray as professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the algorithm respects that. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, the algorithm's fucked, ain't it?
Fuck that algorithm.
Yeah.
Fuck the algorithm.
The second that I saw that, this is why I had to reach out to other platforms in order to do anything music related.
Yeah.
Because the second that I started promoting my music, they fucked my algorithm up the same day, bro. Like, damn. That shit hurts so bad because, like, bro, I have to reach out in other directions in order to make it. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it works, though. You know
bro, I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned on fucking Instagram.
Bro, they'll do that
on my main channel, bro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned.
They do that, bro.
What makes you think that?
Because anytime that I post something, it's just
it's dead in the water.
Yeah,
dead.
Yep.
Until you get a blue check.
You talking about like Wholehearted Entertainment? Is that the one you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But you know that whenever you get a blue check, it's not that they're showcasing your art to more people. They're just showing it to your full following list. You feel me?
Yep.
So, like, whenever you get that blue check, they open up your followers. They remove the boundaries. But the only way to get a blue check is to have blog postings.
Yeah.
Is to have all these other platforms talking about you. Then they give you the blue check, and then they'll have, you know what I'm saying? Then you can start reaching your audience.
Yeah.
Which is crazy as fuck. And then they made it a pay to win. They started making people pay for their blue check. You feel me?
Yeah.
Which I'm never going to do because, like,
that's so like, corny.
That's why I haven't been fucking with damn Instagram, bro. Really.
Yeah,
because it's like the algorithm's fucked up too.
Yeah.
But like TikTok though, the thing is with TikTok is that I don't fuck with TikTok. See, I fuck with Instagram more than I do with TikTok.
100%.
But with TikTok, you can reach the algorithm better and you can reach out more people.
Yeah, that algorithm. TikTok is an interesting algorithm because if you just keep with TikTok, bro, the only way to it's so easy on TikTok. You just keep posting the same shit.
I've noticed
over and over and over and over again in different ways, and you will make it. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that are really famous on TikTok. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like my friend, Crimson Red. He just released a project. It's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
But yo, he's big as shit on TikTok.
Really?
You feel me? And like he literally just punches the algorithm in the face until it puts them on. You feel me?
The fuck out of it.
That's what I've been trying to do here
The
lately.
only reason why I haven't done that is because it sculpts your image in a particular way. You feel me? And for my style of music, I have to be deemed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just because I want to be critically acclaimed in a way. You feel me? From an artistic standpoint, because I'm creating a high level of music. Not to say he isn't. Obviously, he is. Yeah. Everybody knows that. But you know what I'm saying? For my style of music in general, I want to be in a different area. Or
you don't just want to be like a TikTok rapper.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I really can't. It would diminish the quality of my art. You feel me? So like, I have to go the back. I'm just backdooring. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. And honestly, word of mouth is the best way to promote your shit. That's why I haven't been fucking with social media really, because the social media, especially Instagram, it's so fucking saturated.
It is
so saturated with so many different people that are very good at what they do, especially whenever it comes to any sort of art category. Bro. Very good, and there's so many people, so it's hard to reach out different people, especially even if you're better than them. They may be better at marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
this is what I'm about
like
to
a
say.
better salesman.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the time would come where word of mouth would be so rare nowadays that's how you reach people?
Exactly.
There was a time when word of mouth was all we had, and now we're so reliant on social media that we forgot that the easiest way to make it in this generation is to be in front of people's faces.
Exactly.
It
really is.
So like. In Charlotte, I didn't realize this was true until I was in Charlotte and I saw 10 cell phones walking around Noda, showing people his music. I'm like, yo, 10 cell phones is big as shit. Like, he's actually on the ground putting in real work. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, people got the game fucked up. I was going to, like, when I first started doing music, I was going to prove a point. I was not going to use social media and just solely push it in person.
Yeah.
But I started using social media just because it's easier. I mean, there's not always a time where I can be, in one place, and you know what I'm saying, I want to branch out and shit like that. But you don't necessarily need a big social media phone to be big. Like,
that's true.
If you can just influence the community around you, that's how I sell out shows and boom. It's not because it's not because of my social media presence. It's because everybody fucking knows me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just from being there, running track, and I'm just being in the area all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
there's a lot of people that don't even have social media.
Yeah, facts.
That are like really popping.
Really? No,
Yeah.
that ass serious though.
Seriously.
Another
doesn't
thing
take
is
all that.
like when you're constantly artists that or just creators that constantly post on social media and do outlandish things to get that viral or famous or anything.
Yeah.
It's like your following kind of takes you for granted because you're in their face so much.
Exactly.
It's like you are famous, but you're not being taken seriously at the level of someone who's more like Cardi, who Cardi doesn't. He's not on social media that much,
Fact.
but when he is, it's a big deal. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Bro, because viral is not famous. Those are two different things, and that's what people don't
Exactly.
understand.
Yep.
Viral is not famous, bro. Like people do these gimmicks, they don't realize, bro. It's like girls who end up doing OnlyFans. Like,
Yup.
yeah, you only wearing a bathing suit now, but that shit wears off. You
It
feel
does.
me? You're gonna have to take off more and more in order for these people to keep fucking with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Same with people who get famous off of gimmicks. You feel me? Same people that like get famous off of like, I don't know, doing something ridiculous on social media to get big.
Just
bro.
to get a 15 minutes of
15
fame.
minutes
You
of
feel me?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
won't have
Yep.
to keep that shit up, and they're gonna want more and more and
For
more.
real.
That's why you're famous. You feel me? That's why I feel like it's better to just represent you in the best way possible, and then if you get big off of that, like, you know what I'm saying, eventually you will. Everybody is capable of it.
And
So
I've
do
seen
it.
I've seen some pages with like where they have, it's like a business account,
Yeah.
and then they post all of their work that they have on there, like, and it'll be like people will fuck with it. It'll be popping, like the post will be popping, and then they post a selfie of them, and then it's like dead.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
that's
I
another
noticed that
thing,
a
yo.
lot.
Like, that's facts, because you gotta tailor your social. Like, it's a business. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So like you have to tailor your social media account to be more like a business, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm starting to realize. But now my business is lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually I have to post more like of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you have an actual business or you have a page dedicated to your art, it has to be dedicated to that.
Absolutely.
Because the algorithm, again,
For sure.
respects that. You know what I'm saying? The second you try to post a selfie, they're like, that's not what you're here for.
Yeah, for
Cut
sure.
that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
For
Like,
sure, because
so,
it's
yeah.
kind of like it's an ego thing too.
Mhm.
Because whenever you post shit like that, it's like it's to an extent like selfish, because you're just thinking about yourself and like the clout for just yourself, not
Yeah.
like the art or the creativity or the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
because people will pay you for shit, but it's just a matter of how much value you're bringing to them.
Facts.
Because they really, honestly, like everybody, they don't care about another person.
Mhm.
You know, it's usually like self-investments whenever other people are choosing to invest with you or choosing to give you money for any sort of reason. You know, that's how you make money. Like whenever people listen to music or anything, like they're going to be listening to the music. And but the thing is with music and like musical artists as well, see, that's whenever whenever they get tied in with that, because they tend to people tend to look at the lifestyle of the artist as well and see if that's people, because they'll resonate with that more.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll see if this person is the way that they want to be or if the way that they are, and then they can kind of click with that better.
Yeah.
You know, especially like whenever they listen to their music as well.
I
you
feel
know?
like artists represent, like, because a lot of people, and we're all like people, you know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people can't live in a, like, either it's their own fear, their own like self-doubt. They can't live in the way that they really truly want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, even me, it took me a long time to get to a point in my life where I feel like I'm living everything that I am on the inside. So a lot of people look to art, they look to music, they look to musicians to display the lifestyle that they really want to live. So like, if you create a song, you create a piece that resonates with them on that deeper level, they're gonna fuck with you. And then like when you post something like that on social media and you see that lifestyle, you see the way they dress, you see how free they are. A lot of people fuck with you solely because you who they want to be on the inside. So it's like an artist's job to display yourself 100% on the outside.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's a vulnerable position to be in. It's not guarded, you know what I'm saying? And you run into negatives and positives because of that. But if you deem yourself an artist, it's your duty to do so. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
You kind of like show other people that's okay to like be 100% yourself
Facts.
too.
Like authentic.
And
Yeah.
you can tell
For
when
sure.
artists aren't being themselves as well.
100%.
Yeah.
And they never
Yeah.
last.
Mm-hmm.
That's how J. Cole caught Lil
and just
Pump's
like-
fall so easily.
And just like people in general, you know, like people, like you can usually tell that, you know, that somebody isn't really who they are whenever they don't, or if they have like an argument of some sort, you know, and then you want to question their argument, and then you want to go down and see how good they really think about their argument and how much they have to back that up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking about it more, and then they start to criticize you on a personal level.
Yeah,
like slander.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
There's
then
a quote for something like that. I remember it was like, when somebody starts using slander, that means they've already lost the argument.
Yeah, facts.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But like that's like artists, you'll see that like long form content like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of artists won't do it because
Yeah.
they know that people will
Damn.
actually find out their actual real self, and that's
I never
not what
even
they
thought
want.
about that shit. That's so
Yeah.
true though.
For sure.
I'm saying, because like here you actually have to talk. People are gonna figure out who you
It's
are.
hard to keep up a
Exactly.
facade for like 2 hours.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
You can keep it up
Yeah.
for like a 3-minute song.
Like
or in a
imagine
still
like me
photo.
doing this fucking podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you know
Yeah.
exactly who
there's
the fuck you're talking to.
there's
really
no
fast, you know what I'm
way
saying?
like there's no way for me to like fake every single fucking podcast.
Yeah,
You know what
that'd
I'm
be
saying?
Fucking difficult, bro.
Exactly.
I'm saying, but
So
that's
like
true,
how
though.
I am is just how I am. Like
Mhm.
whenever I get on here, that's how I am.
And that's longevity
You know?
though.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
Like, the more authentic you are to yourself, the more authentic you are to yourself,
Mm.
Yeah.
the easier it is for you to maintain that because you're not faking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's why I never faked in my music career ever.
Mm.
But I feel like early on, just like when I was first starting, I was young. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't truly me. But I feel like no one's really truly themselves until they take the time to figure out who they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
That
you're
just
young,
takes a lot
you
of-
don't really know who you
Yeah.
are. You're more like a product of like everything you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of like time alone and self discovery, like Bon Iver. I don't know if y'all
Absolutely.
familiar with him, or Bon Iver. But he
I
went to a
think
log
so.
cabin and then like found himself.
that
pretty
sounds
much.
familiar.
It does
Crazy
sound
good
familiar,
artist. He
but-
worked with Kanye a lot too.
Oh yeah.
808s and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
But
Bro, will you pass me that cup over there?
yeah.
It's a white cup.
This is a coffee.
Yeah.
No shit.
Black coffee.
I can't be mad because you are.
Bro, that's what I drink. Black.
Black coffee.
Only I only
Same
drink
here.
Y'all are
black coffee.
fucking
Just black
sick,
coffee.
bro.
Black
Like, what's
coffee
wrong with
and
your taste
water.
buds? How do you even do
Yeah.
that?
It's acquired taste, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
I
have to
used
do it
to-
a lot.
Yeah, I used to
Now
drink
I-
with like a bunch of creamer where
Yeah.
it was almost, it was the same color as the creamer.
That's what I want. That's it.
Yeah.
That's coffee. That's
And-
coffee.
but-
Huh?
I got tired of just like trying to figure out the right concoction, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo,
You know
let me
what's
just
funny,
drink this shit
Yeah.
straight." And I was like, "This is kind of good. I can see
So
myself."
when you drink it straight, can you like taste the different? Like, can you like, oh, this is from Brazil? Like, you
Yeah.
can tell like
Yeah.
the quality and
I
like
can
the
t-
quality.
I've been
different
like going to the
times.
store
Oh, yeah.
and like I've been going to the store and like just like trying to like get a different type each time I go. And like each time I go, I like think about it, I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to get a feel for it. So I feel like I'm like halfway to the point of like being able to like really tell, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
Just like
Shit.
having
Y'all better
that-
than me, bro. They ain't no.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
For me, I just drink it. What
let's
the
just
fuck
say my
ever.
taste buds aren't mature yet. Let's just say that.
Sometimes I'll drink 2-day-old coffee. Sitting
Yeah.
in the
Damn.
damn pot, black coffee. I just heat that shit
Yeah,
up
see,
and
look,
just.
it's not
yeah.
fresh, but I mean, it'll get
It's
the job
not fresh.
done.
It will. It's caffeine,
Sheesh,
but
bro.
coffee's actually good for you.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Black
it's probably
coffee.
it's probably the sugar and the creamer that does me dirty.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
Yeah, but yeah, is caffeine? Is that a problem? Is it good for you to drink that much caffeine? Often?
I think you can have up to like 500 milligrams a day, but that's
yeah.
that's about like 3 or 4 cups of coffee.
Definitely.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
There's
Not
like,
like
so
a-
there's like a cap to it.
Yeah,
But still, yet once you start getting up there, like once you like 200 milligrams is how much is in a C4.
yeah.
And
wait, really?
Yeah, if I drink one of those, I fucking like you start
Like-
feeling tingly and
I
shit.
know.
Yeah.
It feels like you got lightning coming out of your hands.
Yeah, definitely.
Back when I used to like lift heavy, like when I was running track, we started taking like drinking C4 like to work out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The craziest lifts I've ever done. You
Yep.
feel me? Like
Oh,
literally, like it's like
Yeah, coffee's the
it's
best
liquid
pre-workout.
cocaine. Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously,
definitely.
yeah,
For
that's
sure.
crazy. Yeah, not for me anymore though.
They used to take pre-workout like that shit.
I only took it like probably 4 times in my entire like track career.
Oh yeah.
One thing I always wanted to try that's probably illegal is taking pre-workout before race because I feel like, bro,
Oh.
if I did that, bro, like I promise you I would have never lost a track meet.
Why would that be illegal though?
I don't think it is.
I don't think
'cause
that it is.
There's jumpers that would like. There's high jumpers that would drink like Red Bulls, like just drink OD Red Bull before
Yeah.
they jump, and they'll like PR or whatever.
And I have like a heart attack.
Facts. yeah, it's most definitely not something that's long
Then
term.
they'll actually
Yeah.
grow wings.
You feel me? Yo,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
weird as fuck. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, but I did long jump though. I wasn't like a track runner. I did long
Yeah.
jump, but
Or-
I bet you I would have went crazy if I did that shit.
I used to run track.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the short, like the 100, 200.
Mm.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I can never understand like the distance runners, bro.
Yeah, hell.
Uh,
Those people are
but they're from a
inhuman.
different planet, bro.
Yeah,
Inhuman,
for sure.
That's like a work ethic that I have in music that they have in like
that David Goggins like.
Oh,
bro, David Goggins is fucking crazy.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
But he was
He's
not
a
just he was
beast.
like a SEAL, right?
Yeah, he
He was a
was.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
he,
I
like-
guess he is, you know.
He is, yeah. That's probably a
Yeah.
little more. He probably slapped me for saying that. Real
Yeah.
shit. But
Definitely. I
Yeah,
guess he's
'cause
just
he,
not in the field no more.
Then he lost all his comrades and then like went like on this crazy
Oh, I
like
don't
self
know.
embetterment like thing.
I like his mentality.
yeah.
I was watching some stuff with him. He's always talking about like in all his motivational stuff how like he's like I'm not training for a race. I'm not training for like something coming up. I'm just always improving myself because it's what I have to do to
Yeah.
feel good. And I feel like that's a good mentality. Like a lot of people work out like for the beach, or like a lot of people do things for this one thing, and then after that one thing is done, they're like, okay, I can relax now. And I feel like the best mentality with like art, music, anything is like to do it like not for this one like project or for this one like thing, but like just to do it because you have to, because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts. It's like self discovery and self improvement are probably like the two. That's literally what life is. You feel me? Like you spend your whole life either trying to find out more about who you are or learn how to better the person you already became, like the person that you know you are now.
Yeah.
Like once you figure out who you are, you have to figure out how to hone in and improve on who that person is. You know what I'm saying? So like, it makes perfect sense.
See, that's what I was talking about whenever we first started doing like the acid and the shrooms to begin with, is because we started off on that path to begin with of like self-discovery and personal growth. And then we started taking it to see what would happen, to see if we would learn more about that. And you learn more about yourself. Did you learn like shit like that whenever you took them, or was it just like a
literally everything?
Because some people take it for that's what I was saying in the beginning. Because some people will take it as a recreational thing, and then they'll just take it just for fun, and then they don't get any.
It's all about
they don't get any education. For sure.
When you treat it, it's almost like shrooms is like a person, and it's like when you treat it like that, it's like, now I'm gonna fuck you up. Like I feel like you gotta set intentions when you're about to do that stuff, because it's like then it'll kind of guide you in that way. Your mind will kind of like guide you in that way. Because the first time I took shrooms, I didn't have intentions, and I remember it kind of felt like this wave of like anxiety, and like the shrooms like took me under kind of, but then like the next time where I knew about it, I was able to like stay on top of the surface almost. That makes sense. But setting intentions when you're about to do psychedelics is very important, I feel like.
Yeah, when you said you get out of it what you want, like there's certain people that I just could never do it with solely because they don't see it from that perspective.
Yeah,
you feel me? It's literally,
definitely.
Yo, it comes from the earth. That's the weirdest thing for me to understand. Like it literally comes out of the earth and it teaches you about yourself. You feel me? And like I feel like people take it as like a party drug, or like just like a drug just to see the visual effects of it.
I never understood that.
But bro, it's not a drug. It's literally a gateway. You feel me? Like, and the thing is, I went through like I mentioned this before, depersonalization. Basically, for a period of time, I felt like I was outside of myself, like looking at myself from an outward perspective. You feel me? Like in the third person perspective. You feel me? Like consistently for like a year. You feel me? It's really difficult. But then when I took shrooms, it was the same thing, but at the same time, I could hear things talking to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's walking me through.
Like you had schizophrenia.
Yeah, literally. No, quite literally felt insane for a period of time.
Yeah.
But it was like a comfortable position to be in.
Oh, yeah.
It was like I was learning more about who I am as a person, you feel me? And more so like what my weaknesses are. But the weaknesses that make me strong, my vulnerabilities, you feel me?
Yeah.
What makes me who I am pretty much. So like it was weird. But I told you we got a whole project out of it because, you know what I'm saying? You just get realizations about yourself. It opens up that, it turns gray and white or black and white to color. It's like the light through the prism type thing.
Yeah.
So like, that's what it felt like.
People are really scared of being insane, quote unquote. I feel like being insane, like not in a permanent sense, because if you're permanently insane, then you're kind of out of touch with reality, right? But like, I feel like it's kind of healthy to like go insane sometimes, and like
to go insane sometimes.
Like if you understand what I mean,
grip.
like
it loosens your ego's grip.
Yeah,
because your ego is what tethers you here. You feel me? Like your ego literally holds on and forms the reality that we have. You feel
Insanity
me?
is kind of just a concept too.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's like, and it's something that like we've been trained to be scared of. But like I don't know. I feel like it's good to have a balance of like. I feel like it's good to have a balance of everything in life. You know.
Definitely. Life is about balance.
Yeah.
Less about people.
I've been thinking about duality a lot lately.
Oh, yeah?
You guys think about,
what do you mean?
Like yin yang?
Yeah.
Stuff like
absolutely.
that where it's like if one
Good and
thing
bad.
if one thing happens, then like the other thing, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like how can you have good without bad type situation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And being able to like appreciate the bad like when it's happening is kind of that's like a higher level of like living. I feel like that I haven't reached yet, but I'm like learning how to like get on that.
What did you mean about being insane?
Let me expand on this.
He was like, it's okay to be insane.
One thing I do want to say about that insane part is literally like the only way that you feel, especially like when you take those psychedelics or whatever, and you take a high dosage of it, when you have ego death, you feel me?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
considered insanity.
That's how I had the bad trip.
Yeah, like you lose touch of what reality is. And
it was terrible.
Touch of, like you literally have to get comfortable with leaving. You feel me? And you feel clinically insane. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
after you experience that, the type of clarity that you get on the other side of that is a new appreciation.
I agree 100%.
A new appreciation for simplicity. You feel me? Because like life can be as simple as we want it to be. It's like we in the system have allowed our egos to create such a like we take all this stuff as important. You feel me?
Yeah.
I am
really,
this. I am
it's
that.
like, bro, none of this is really important. It's like life is a lot more fluid than it can be. You feel me? So like whenever that happened and you start realizing, you start accepting that ego death or whatever, and you go through that period of insanity, everything calms the fuck down for a period. And then when you come back down to reality, you have a whole new appreciation for life.
Absolutely. That's why I tell like I've told him like every time that I think about it, I always refer back to that experience that I had whenever I had that bad trip, because that was the last trip that I had,
Facts.
the last real trip that I had. I had that really bad experience, and then afterwards, like I had to kind of figure shit out afterwards because it made me realize a whole bunch of shit, and then it made me feel like all the walls were closing in on me and shit. Like I actually thought that I was 100% sure that I was gonna die that night.
No, yeah, 100%.
It literally felt like hell.
Yeah, like you come to terms with that. This is it. Like I literally had to like, okay, well, this is where this all happens. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it
forced
really,
you to confront things that you probably had been avoiding.
absolutely.
Facts.
For sure.
It's terrifying. I wouldn't tell anybody to do
Very
it on
terrifying.
purpose. You feel me?
No.
Like if anybody asks me like, yo, should I try it? It's like you probably shouldn't, but if you do, you probably wouldn't regret it. But I wouldn't tell you to do it.
I would tell
You feel
them,
me? But like,
I would tell them you need to be in the right state of mind.
bro, there's nothing
Absolutely.
that can prepare you for a bad shroom trip. Like there's
nothing.
For real. When you go too fucking far on shrooms, there is nothing that can prepare you. You just have to accept that this is it. That's the only way through it.
You just gotta ride that shit.
Acceptance is big, like in life.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Bro.
Accepting certain things, like it's like another duality is like when you let go, you like receive so much.
Yeah.
When you were like, I forgot what the word was, but it was like when you just let go and allow things to happen. Like that's when things really come to you.
See, the thing
And
is,
then when you're constantly grabbing and chasing, it's running away from you. It's like
I think it could be also a bad thing as well, especially with people that already have like a tough time with kind of like fitting in somewheres, and then they have like essentially like a social awkwardness, if you would, like, and then they have like an ego death, and then they don't have any sort of sense of self, and then they also kind of slip away from what reality is, even more than what they do to begin with, because they essentially have like a false sense of reality, if you would, and then they're not able to pick up on certain things, so they're not very adequate in interacting with certain people or just people in general. And then whenever they take something like that, they start to get further and further away from that.
Facts.
From like, because whenever you take it, I see it as like you get a feel of acceptance and self-acceptance, and you kind of lose like yourself, if you would.
Yeah.
So the ego, I think it can be bad to an extent, especially if it's a certain person or certain time in your life whenever you have a certain thought process.
Facts.
Where you can slip away from reality. I've seen it a before where somebody I knew has actually completely slipped away from reality. Whenever they took a couple different people actually, and they completely slipped away from reality, and then they wasn't able to
They weren't tethered. Like like there's a girl, she never found her way back. You feel me? Like
exactly.
I don't want to say that because I mean, obviously
That's what sucks about it too.
Everything affects people differently.
Yeah. Like, she takes things now to where like she's able to have a grip on reality.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that happened with weed. It wasn't even like no hard shit. It just happened with weed to where like she took it and literally could not find her way back. You feel me? So like,
well, weed is a psychoactive drug as well.
It is, exactly. So like, yeah, like you just have to. It obviously depends on the person. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't even need psychedelics or any type of that to gain that awareness. All you have to do is just be super aware of the present moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like the more aware you are of the present moment, it's like but it's very difficult to explain how to do it. It just has to happen. Usually it happens to people after they have an experience that literally gets too close to death. You feel me? They get super aware of where they're at and like, yo, this is life right now. Or they lose somebody close to them. Then they realize, hey, this is life.
To live in
the
moment more.
Yeah, like the more present you are and the more aware you are of the present moment, you don't need psychedelics to gain that same sort of awareness.
You really don't. You don't need any drugs, really.
You don't need anything. Yeah, literally. So like.
Yeah, and I can see how for some people like psychedelics might be able to show you like, hey, this is what it's like to be in the present moment, like, and then you're more aware of it. But yeah, I feel like being in the present moment is like, it's so important because that's really all there is. It's interesting how like the society we're in teaches us to like focus so much on the past and so much on the future, and everyone's focused on one or the other. And it's like the present moment feels like this tiny like hallway condensed period of time, but it's really all that there is.
Yeah, it's the only thing that matters. Is being in the moment.
It's really all about balance too, like you were saying.
I feel like society has created this grid around time and these like these markers around time for us to maintain and understand where we are in this thing called time. You feel me?
Yeah.
But once you take the grid off, you feel me, and you realize it's just life. There's no present. There's always present. There's no past and no future, and it's just now. It really it changes the entire dynamic of the way you view life in general. You feel me? Like once you take the grid off of time, it's so hard to explain. But once you take the grid off of time, life becomes free again. You can breathe free. You feel me? And that's what I'm trying to maintain. It's so hard to maintain in the world that we live in just because everything has a number to it. You know what I'm saying? Everything's understood now. Nothing's left to just like your imagination. Nothing's left to be free anymore. Everything has to be predetermined or thought of or planned out. You know what I'm saying? So like we lose touch of like just the freedom of just being. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where everyone should strive to be in life, and that's where you get that freedom and that peace from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, and also with that, there's also a lot of I don't know how I would say it. There's a lot of different things that we also have to, I guess, societal rules that we also have to abide by as well whenever it comes to stuff like that, because whenever you do essentially get that ego death as well, like I was saying, like whenever you do that, it can also be a selfish thing as well, because you start to get away from other people too, because it makes you comfortable. It makes it is a good thing in the sense of it makes you comfortable in yourself, like being alone with yourself, because that was like a big thing for me too. Like it's not that I really couldn't be alone, it's that I would rather not be alone.
Facts.
But like after taking it for so much, I realized that I was more comfortable with myself, and I was able to be comfortable with just being by myself. But that also can come with some sort of ramifications whenever you are only comfortable with being with yourself. And then I also like to say that life is all about balance, but it's all about other people as well.
Facts.
Because if you don't have those other people, you don't have like a sense of community.
Yeah.
And then like if you notice, the most depressed people are by themselves.
Isn't it like if you go without people like a certain amount of days or something, you go like insane, right?
I think like the movie I Am Legend talked about that a little bit. Remember, like Will Smith, he was going crazy because there was nobody. He thought he was the last guy around, in New York.
Yeah,
that was a big epiphany moment for me. It's like when I realized that life is literally all about the connections. Like
life is relationships.
There's nothing more to life. You feel me? That's literally all it is. It's like life is just like memories in general. It's just connections. Like I feel like everybody gets to the end of their like whatever how old you get. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for you to go on, you get to the end and you're like, what memories did I make? Who did I meet? And that's literally all that matters. at the end of the day, the people that these moments, these conversations, the people you're around, that's the essence of life. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, like taking those type of things and like getting isolated like that. Yeah, you have a lot of time to explore yourself, but I feel like speaking with other people and being around other people allows you to gain a deeper understanding of who you are as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel me? So like,
it's an easy road to go down too. Whenever you take shit like that, it's easy just to be very comfortable with yourself. Facts. And like go away from people and just be like, well, I don't need nobody else.
Facts.
You know, but
7 rules.
That's why it's good to. That's why it's good to do it with people too.
Facts.
That book actually talks about like being independent, but there's a higher level of that's being interdependent, which means that you work as a team to achieve an even bigger goal.
Yeah,
so.
Independent.
Like bro, like you have our vision on life is just so small. It's like a pinhole in comparison to what it could be.
Yeah.
And every time you talk to another person, like random conversations like we had today, you gain another experience. You gain another viewpoint on life.
Absolutely.
Like, I know we all realize this, but everybody has a very unique understanding of what life is. You feel me? Like your upbringing is completely different from mine. Like it's never like, bro, like our paths have never crossed until this moment. You feel me? So like your entire perspective on life is different from mine. So when we sit down and talk, bro, I'm gaining a whole new perspective on life. You feel me? With everybody here.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm gaining a whole new perspective on life, and that's something I can take with me forever. You know what I'm saying? Because now I have a widened viewpoint. That's why traveling and doing things like that, like, and seeing other cultures. Like my dad's from Liberia, so like.
He's from where?
Liberia.
Yeah.
So like.
Oh shit! Where the hell is that?
West Africa. It's right on the coast.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
So like, that being said, my perspective on life is completely different. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I can bring and widen someone else's viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't take that into consideration. Like isolation, it's dangerous only in that like you lose touch on what life really is.
Absolutely.
Really quickly. You feel me?
It's also important to an extent though, like being by yourself, being comfortable with yourself. Another balance.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to become dependent. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what that book talks about too. Is like the lowest level is dependent. Then you got independent. Then you got interdependent. Dependent people rely on other people for more than just physical things. You know, like emotional and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not independent. They can't be on their own. Once you become independent, then that's when you can get to a place where you can start to work with other people.
Absolutely. And become interdependent.
Yeah.
And work together with a bunch of other people and have a sense of community.
Yeah, a whole bunch of independent people that get to come together. That's dope. I think that's a stage where I'm trying to. I mean, I like to consider myself completely independent. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure there's areas in life that I haven't touched yet that's gonna prove that I am more dependent than I actually am. Then I have to work on that and then become independent in that field too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like I feel like independent people still may have dependencies in areas that they don't realize. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're independent don't mean you're perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like you still have areas of dependency. I'm pretty sure.
That's why I don't like that. I don't like that term, if you would, to get tossed around with like, especially like females, you know, because females now are being taught that independence is good. You know, is the way that you should go. You don't need no man. You don't need to depend on no man or anything. And then or vice versa with guys too. And then it gets into a slippery slope. It really does, because like we was talking about, that's the balance too. You get the feminine and the masculine.
Yeah. But it's like you said, a bunch of independent people coming together. That's almost more beautiful, because it's like, it's like, whether it's like friends, man and woman, whatever, man and man, whatever it is, relationships in general. It's just like it's almost more beautiful just because it's like, I don't need you, but I would like to be in your presence, and that's almost cooler, but in a way.
That goes back to the interdependence too, because you're not dependent on another person. You're working together with that person as a whole, as one, not just as two separate people that has two separate goals. You're working together to one goal.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like when you talk about men and women, I feel like God did a really good job of creating the perfect team. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Gave one half this certain qualities and these qualities that apply to this half, and then he gave the other qualities to the other half. You feel me? And when they come together, when they're both divinely themselves, when they both are very in tune with what roles they play, and then they come together, it creates this whole picture. You feel me?
Yeah.
Just like everything. Like if you're a musician and you have a manager on your team that wants to be a musician too, you're going to fucking fail. You feel me?
Yeah.
Or if you have a videographer that wants to rap but also wants to manage you. Now it's like, okay, you feel me? But when you have everybody that's willing to be in their respective roles and they're willing to work together towards one common goal.
Play your part.
Play your
part,
yeah.
Yep,
now you're talking,
exactly.
you feel me? And like, even like a rapper, like, as a rapper, that's just one part of the puzzle. Yeah. A rapper can't make it by themselves.
Like MJ and Pippen.
You feel me? Facts. You feel me? There's no MJ without Pippen. As much as you want to say, as much as you like to give him all the credit, there's no MJ without Pippen. Rodman, you need the whole team to make something that great. You know what I'm saying? So like.
So you're saying that there's gender roles?
There is though. Like I'm one of them, bro. It is gender roles. You feel me?
Yeah. Thanks for getting us canceled, bro.
Stop, bro. I'll take the cancellation.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
I feel like there's gender roles only to those who accept them. You feel me? You don't have to accept gender roles, but with me and my people, you feel me? I'm gonna accept gender roles solely because I feel like when people play on their strong suits, they're able to create something way more beautiful than those who try to create everything on their own.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like me, I could try to be masculine and feminine at the same time, but I'm gonna lose my masculine qualities. You feel me?
Absolutely.
I'm saying I'm gonna lose the beauty in being masculine. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it takes away from whoever I'm with the ability to be truly feminine.
You
feel me? Because they have to compensate for me trying to do
like
both.
yin and yang.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the female's going to be more masculine.
Exactly.
But then at the same time, it's important to have a little bit, if you're a man, a little bit of femininity, and a woman, a little bit of masculinity, because in yin yang, there's that little dot.
Yeah, facts.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, like
the thing is, like, that's the only way you can understand the other side. You feel me? Like, if you have no sense of, like, that's why we have mothers and fathers. Like, the father gives you the masculine. The mother's going to give you a bit of that feminine touch, the care, you know what I'm saying, the emotional intelligence. You feel me? You need that in order to communicate with the other side.
And they have to adapt to each other as well in order to work together.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah, because if they can't, because if they can't, then it's just going to be like negative. It's going to be like negative and negative, or positive and positive don't connect. You know, it just either forces each other away or they don't connect at all.
It's going to force, and like if you work on that connection with someone that is in that opposite form, you're gonna be forced to gain those qualities, and when you gain those qualities, it's gonna make you a more well-rounded individual. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make you more independent, which is great. You know what I'm saying? So like, instead of dependent, which happens a lot, but that's dope. I never even thought about it that way. But that's why I come on a podcast.
Yeah, that shit is wild. You learn a lot on a podcast.
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
Really do. I learn a lot too. Like I'll say some shit that I think is true. Like in this very moment, like I'll be like, yeah, that's true, that's 100% for sure, and then I'll go back and I'll listen to it like a couple of days later or something, and I'm like, let me do some more research on that.
Facts.
And I do some more research on it, and then sometimes I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
And go back and be like, shit.
I'm like, fuck, and I already fucking said it.
Off on the internet and shit.
Yeah, so I'm not always right.
Go ahead and just say that now for like, you know, the general thing, because you might bite that bullet later.
For sure, definitely. Yeah. Then I'll have to go back to this video and I'll have to be like, yeah, I told you right here that I'm not always right.
Yeah, let's just Andrew Tate. I'm just like
Andrew Tate. You fuck with Andrew Tate?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Hell
he stands
yeah.
for. I mean, I'm not. See, the thing is, like, the media is gonna twist the narrative to like whatever they want it to be. You feel me? I feel like they have a bad habit of doing that. It's not even a habit. It's on purpose. You feel me?
Yeah.
They want to twist the narrative to be whatever they want it to be for that particular time. You know what I'm saying? To push whatever narrative they want to push. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So I feel like they do they have a habit of twisting his personality into something that, you know, is more inclusive to what they want, or like, you know, they need a villain, so they're villainizing him. I feel like, but he says a lot of shit that makes a lot of sense, but people are never going to hear that. They don't care to hear it. They care to, you know, whatever everybody else is doing. So
definitely,
like, it's weird.
That also goes back to the like what he's talking about. That also goes back to the problem of like I said, like the basically the modern feminists that are playing on the part of everybody should be independent and just independent only, not interdependent. You know what I'm saying? So then that goes to why most people are like I think it was like the Surgeon General or some shit came on the TV and was like, there's a huge problem with people just being alone.
Facts.
Like, for real. And they have no sense of community. And then they also have no partner to be with as well. It's because everybody's being taught that you have to be independent, you know, and just to be the independent boss bitch.
But the thing is,
you
though,
know?
at least, I won't say everybody, but at least in my circle, I feel like the modern feminist is a trumpet. But majority of the women that I'm around on a consistent basis get it. You feel me? Like, don't like people let social media fool them into thinking that's the majority. Bro, majority of people aren't like that.
Oh,
you feel
God,
me?
for
like,
real.
But the thing is, like, I feel like people see that and they think, oh, that's what majority of people like, and they try to assimilate to it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But majority of people are pretty fucking normal. You feel me?
Oh God,
It's
they
just
really.
like,
Most people really are.
Yeah.
And then like it gets played on the internet like
so many times that they try to become what's the popular thing at the time. You feel
For
me?
Social
real.
media is only gonna show you the extremes of the world.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
get clicks.
Exactly. That's what sucks about that shit too.
Yeah. Damn the algorithm, man.
And it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to play on that algorithm too.
That are gullible. They'll try and transfer their whole life to try and fit that narrative and be miserable.
Exactly.
And then when you're a kid inside all day, and probably even like in COVID, you're inside all day. Yeah. You're probably like a younger generation, and like all you have to see about the world is like the extremes of it. Yeah. Like that's all you know about the world. You probably think people are insane.
Yeah, COVID was a real dangerous time. And it wasn't even for the actual disease itself.
Like information wise, that was a wild time because like shit was not factual at all. Like,
God, I was never really into like. I know we're probably gonna touch on some politics here, but I was never really into politics really until that time really. And then I really started to realize certain shit, and I'm like, "Whoa, hold up!
It was
so
really
are we
hard.
really supposed to do all this shit, or are they just telling us to do this shit because that's what they think is, you know?" And then that goes along with like, is this what I've been taught my whole life, and then is this what they're teaching me, and then it's kind of contradicting each other.
Let's get into it because now I want to talk for real. So like, all right, so boom, it's so funny how all of a sudden all this positive propaganda is coming out about Donald Trump. Yeah. But during COVID, they were dragging this man.
Dragging the fuck out of him.
It's like, I don't support none of these people, you feel me? Because I feel like they're all being perpetrators. But anyway, I feel like now to see like all this positive stuff come out about him, it's like, bro, your perception of who people are in the media is solely driven by what they want you to think of a person.
Exactly.
So usually when I see people getting villainized in the media, like Andrew Tate, I start to think twice.
Kanye.
I start to think twice. You feel me? I start to think twice about who they really are and what they really stand for.
The people that are like really getting canceled and shit.
Facts.
Canceled.
It's like why are they getting canceled now? Now I have to double and check because like.
But leaders of terrorist groups are not getting canceled.
You feel me? It's like, it's like I really have to really think now because like, bro, it's so weird to see all this positive shit come out about him. You know what
Seriously.
I'm saying? And that's kind of where we at with everything.
For real.
Fucked. This whole thing
is fucked. But, and you start to see like a lot of real shit. Like you didn't even know like a lot of this shit existed, and then you started to go down this rabbit hole of a bunch of different bullshit, and then the things that people were calling conspiracies, you see like a few years later, shit's real.
And they all of a sudden everybody's quiet about it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
By that time, it's like old news, and then when they're already on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's why I feel like I'm blessed to like be able to have an open mind about things and be able to like hear something and then be able to say, okay, that's cool. What about the other side? Like that's how I feel like that's how everyone should be. Everyone should be like, no one should like watch one video or read one book and be like, yep, that's how it is. Like you always got to be searching for like what is the other side saying? What are the other people?
That's so important.
Yeah, exactly.
The second that you stop doing that, you lose at like, you feel me?
Definitely. Because you only gravitate to one side of a story, and then you only get to know that one side of the story, and you don't even get to hear somebody else's points. And the thing is, a lot of people, they have points, but it's points that other people have given them. And then like kids, you know, like they only know what other people has been telling them, like you said earlier. And that's like with oh fuck, I'm sorry, I hope that's not gonna keep on going off. No, I'll cancel it. I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
No, but I lost my fucking train of thought. God damn it.
You're talking about
cancellation train.
So like whenever whenever like somebody's talking and tries to debate a certain argument, a lot of the times what you'll see is just them debating on what they know and only what other people have been telling them. And so, like I said, if you start getting into the debates with them and you start getting really deep into it, then they can't back up what they're trying to say.
That's why I like agitators, like Ben Shapiro and like those type of people like that.
Yes, sir.
Like they just agitate shit and force you to talk about it. You feel me?
Exactly.
And you're going to have
and
to
it's
back
shit
it up.
that you have to talk, that you should
me?
talk about, like because people don't even be talking about this shit. They just say
it's
something.
uncomfortable to a lot of people,
Exactly.
so they just avoid it.
They just say something and then expect you to go along with it. Like, what
For
the
what?
fuck did you
You
just
know?
say?
But it's like, why do you just go along with it? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody takes the time to figure out the facts. No one.
They're
takes
like,
the time
oh,
to
okay,
out.
well, they're saying it, so then that must be true, you know? And they don't take the time to actually dig deeper and then figure out what the fuck's going on.
It's like they're too
Like,
lazy to.
What's the guy?
But
that
it also goes back
You
into
said what?
like. It also goes back into like ego, like when you're, because your ego is who you think you are, right? Just based off experiences. And so like when you've been told something your whole life and you just accept it as like a fact of reality, and then someone says something that like skews that fact, and that fact is like a part of your being, you're like, wait, like that's a part of me. Like it's almost like by losing that argument or admitting that you're wrong, you kind of lose a part of yourself.
They take it on a personal level.
It's a chink in your
now
armor.
people are taking it
For real.
personally when they should be taking it as like, oh, how can I? This might be true. Like maybe this can help me grow.
Facts, but people
Definitely.
aren't interested in growing.
No.
It's a popularity contest, man. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to be most liked. You feel me?
Definitely.
I'm over that period in my life where I want to be accepted. You feel me? Like, I think I'm to a point in life now where I'm more concerned about being authentic than being accepted.
Like putting the truth out there.
Yeah, that's a little bit more important, I feel like.
I think it is. I really think it is.
And that's another thing with like duality. It's like once you like accept that like you don't want that, like you kind of get it from people who are authentic. Like once you realize you don't want you don't necessarily need the attention, and you're okay standing out because that's more true to you, then other people who feel that way are gonna gravitate towards you. So it's like almost by being yourself, like you're getting that too. Yeah.
That's the people you'd want to be around anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. The people who think that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, a little less trustworthy when you don't. You feel me?
Yeah.
A little less wishy-washy.
Like I want people, honestly, I want people on here that I can disagree with as well.
Facts.
Like I mean, if there's people on here that I agree with, that is awesome, and the conversation is gonna go smooth.
From here on out, I'm disagreeing with everything you said.
No, but if there's a lot of people that disagree with me, and if I ask them to come on, they're not gonna come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or there are some people that say that they will come on, but they won't talk about certain shit.
Yeah.
And they're not an open book about certain shit. So then you can't touch on the shit that they disagree with you about, especially whenever it's like on a camera or recorded or something, because like I said, they don't have, their argument is not able to be backed up by what they really believe.
That's the thing.
So it makes me think that they don't really believe what they're saying.
They don't. That's the thing. It's really rare to find an alternative viewpoint of somebody who actually truly and utterly believes exactly what they're talking about. When you find those people who are opposite from you and they believe wholeheartedly in what they're talking about, stick with those people. You feel me? Because those people offer you a whole new perspective on life that you're not going to get from nowhere else. You feel me?
For sure.
That's just big.
Yeah. Another thing is like our generation has been like so convinced that like arguing is like this bad thing, but like I find myself often wishing that I could like have these like not really arguments but just conversations with people I disagree with. Like why does every conversation where we don't exactly think the same, why does that have to be I'm mad that you don't feel this way? Like why can't it be like
it starts to get an emotional thing?
Yeah, why can't it be more like inquisitive, like, oh wow, like I really don't agree with you, but what, like why? Yeah,
like why? I would like to know.
I wish I was like
genuinely curious.
I wish I was more like accepted so that I could learn more,
bro.
You know?
That reminds me, I'll play like devil's advocate.
Yeah,
like,
I do that too. I do that a lot.
Shit, just to get in the habit of getting used to confrontation.
Deeper.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The only way to dig deeper, whether it's within yourself, whether it's with the people around you, is for someone to oppose you. You can't look in the mirror and learn more about yourself. You have to like constantly be surrounded by other perspectives. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like like the earth is flat, right? So like, obviously it is, you know what I'm saying? But like I would literally just play I'll play devil's advocate there and force them to explain to me why it's round. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like just in the process of doing that with my close friends, it will force them to like know like 30,000 different things about why the earth is round. You feel me? Just because that's the only way to sharpen yourself, and that's with everything in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into it. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, shit.
The earth is round. I mean, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah. So didn't you said that you went to school? Where did you go to school at?
College?
Actually, bro, I really got to take a piss. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah. It's all right, bro.
Yeah, college. But hold on, we'll get back to it.
I've been waiting to talk about this guy for a minute, so let's just take this time.
I mean, y'all can chop it up while I'm in the bathroom.
My phone died. Can I like use your charger?
I don't give a shit. But nah, man. So do you think the earth is round?
I believe so. Yeah.
Damn, you fucking sick. So you're just taking what they tell you and just kind of running with it, huh?
I suppose so.
I mean, it kind of does make more sense for it to be flat, though, if you think about it. Like, from a logical perspective, like, from, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way the world looks to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you get up
like,
on,
you've
like,
never actually seen it.
Well, never from space, but I've been pretty high up in the air.
Yeah, like, you've never actually seen it around, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it flat before, right?
Oh, yeah. But like what I'm saying, like when I'm on a plane or something, I look out the window.
Yeah,
I can see the curvature.
Flat. You can?
But
yeah.
At the same time, like, you can't fall off the earth, so.
Yeah. Have you tried?
I think there actually is a way, but you just have to have like enough like G-force to leave the gravity of the planet, because the gravity is what's like it's kind of like dragging you down to it.
So is gravity magnetism for your body?
I don't know.
Like, be for real. Like,
I'm not sure.
Is gravity considered magnetism?
I know there's like a magnetic field or whatever. I know, like, from what I'm told, it's like the core is like made of like molten iron, and it's rotating, and it creates like a magnetic field.
And it's probably like
that's what also creates like the protective layer that keeps the sun from the rays killing us. Basically,
shit makes sense. I'm gonna be honest with you. None of that shit makes any sense at all.
I don't really understand it either, but that's what I was taught in school.
Fact. Speaking of school, you asked me what school I went to.
Yeah, bro. Let's hear it.
I went to. Oh, you talking about college?
Yeah.
I went to Appalachian State University.
I think that's where I met you, bro.
Yeah.
I think we have crossed paths before.
Do you know a guy named Zach?
Zach.
My fucking guy.
He's the reason. I think I do.
I'll show you a picture of him. You'll know exactly who he is. Everybody fucking knows Zach, bro. He's the reason why I hit you up to begin with. Huh?
Zachary?
Yeah. Does last name start with like a P or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Long hair. I think he has a mullet now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool as
post
fuck,
a lot of
bro.
stuff on Snapchat, like parties, stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
go to a lot of
Entry's
parties.
hard.
He introduced me to you.
I take a lot of pictures at parties.
Yeah.
Where Zach really he's the reason why we got in touch, but he was just an early supporter of my music. He just kind of believed in the vision early on, and you know what I'm saying? He, did that. But App State really it sculpted me in a good way. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
Because being in Charlotte, I only had one viewpoint of the world, just because Charlotte will do that to you in a good way.
Oh,
you feel me?
yeah.
I love my city, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But going to App kind of showed me other aspects of life that I really appreciate, like, quietness. I wasn't used to that shit, so...
because you're up in the mountains and shit.
Yeah, I'll go to the top of a mountain. I actually am just left with my thoughts for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, start figuring out who I was as a person. You know what I'm
That's so crazy that you say that, because I definitely see a big difference between whenever I go to parties in Charlotte and then whenever I go to parties in App.
Facts.
I think in Charlotte, like, everybody's like crazier in Charlotte. Like, there's much, there's so much shit like going on in Charlotte, but whenever you go to App State, like, it feels kind of like you're at home.
There's a weight, there's
more
a
community.
Weight off
yeah,
you,
there's
you
more
feel me?
community there.
That's why I love taking my dogs from Charlotte and bringing them to App, because they're always like, bro, what the fuck is happening up here?
Some people don't even know.
They don't get
They
it.
don't
I mean,
even
like,
know that mountain
like,
life.
Bro, like, it's a whole nother world, bro. Like, when you go to Walmart and see somebody with no shoes on, you're like, what the fuck? You feel me?
Yeah.
But there's a level of freedom that
They're
comes
more
in the
grounded
mountains.
for sure.
For sure. Yeah. There's a whole new level of freedom that happens in the mountains, bro. And, like, I started playing guitar. Grew my hair out. Listen to Jimi Hendrix, a whole lot of psychedelic rock, and you know what I'm saying, and the sense of community up there kind of transformed who I am as a person. So I didn't like college. Well, I obviously graduated. You know what I'm saying?
You did graduate?
Yeah. I graduated with a marketing degree. I studied marketing my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So like, it wasn't necessarily a difficult task to graduate, but it was more so just to have the degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a college experience that really showed me what it's all about. You feel me? I was able to take risk. You know what I'm saying? With not too much of a. I took hella risk in college. That's the one thing though. If you go to college, fuck the school part. That's like 40% of the whole thing.
Definitely.
Bro. 60%
Get that
is
experience.
you have a net under you for 4 years to do whatever the fuck you want. You can just go back to your dorm room. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped running track, said F it, I'm gonna do music. You feel me? Started doing music. Boom. You feel me? They fucked with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
It started taking off. Boom, 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 boom. From there, now I'm back in Charlotte, and that same crowd will follow me to my Charlotte shows, which is crazy as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, boom, App State, much love. You feel me? I love App. I'm gonna be up there soon.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
I fuck with App. So you definitely see like a difference between Appalachian and definitely Charlotte, right?
Oh yeah, it's night and day in a way.
It definitely is.
But they play a part though.
For sure.
You feel me? Because boom, they say whenever the students come, the population doubles. You feel me? So like it's purely made of people coming from different places. So like all those people that come from different places bring different viewpoints. But for some reason that there's a freedom that takes over everybody there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a certain level of just like assuredness in yourself. Like you can really be whoever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like in Charlotte, I don't have to dress. No, in Boone, I don't have to dress like I would in Charlotte. I can just wear whatever. You feel me? Anywhere. Like you go to a party,
for sure,
and people wearing basketball shorts and like running shoes.
What the fuck ever.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And those be the dudes making out with girls, bro. Like
mid
party, bro. Like bro, I'm like dog. Like
in
Charlotte, in order to do something like that, first off, that's bizarre. Second off, in order to do something like that, you have to be the cleanest dude in there. You feel me?
God, yes.
But in Boone, you just have to be the most fun. That's literally what it comes
Seriously,
down to.
for real.
You have to be very.
You can look like
present.
a hobo and be pulling bitches.
But if you are dead ass serious,
Oh
you
God,
just have to be having a good ass time.
Oh God.
So Boone told me how to let go. You know, it kind of disturbed that premeditation in me. It's just like, bro, just have a good time. The more fun you have, the more people gonna fuck with you. You feel me? So like, that's how I kind of approach life, and that's how I approach like my shows and stuff like that. I'm just trying to create an area where people feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want and just have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to cry, you can cry. If you want to crowd surf, you can crowd surf. If you want to be lit, you can be lit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you got the party plugs in Charlotte and App.
Come on now.
That's crazy.
Like, we get real lit in both cities.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Gnarly Boys in Charlotte, and shout out to me at App. I'm just playing. Shout out to Tom Wizard, Dylan, everybody, Jake Love.
Hell yeah.
Whole squad. You feel me? Trippy House.
Yeah.
So
And shout out your album. When is it coming out?
Oh gosh, what do you mean album? What? No, I'm saying. But that being said, Quarters is coming out on June 18th. You
June
feel
18th.
me? Nah, but I do have an album that I've been working on. It's called Oswald.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Oswald is coming out sometime soon, within the next couple months. But
did you say June 18th?
July 18th.
I was about to say.
Quarters coming out July 18th. July 18th.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I've been working on this project for a year and a half. You feel me? Completed it early on and just kind of cultivating the mindset behind it to release it and then encapsulate the project with who I am. You feel me? So it's been a year-long process just kind of figuring out who I am. You know what I'm saying? And like in relation to the project. So it's been a journey. You feel me? Shout out to Stuzy, my engineer. Trippy House Studios. It's been an experience, man. It's an experience like no other. It makes me feel like an actual artist. Not just a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, definitely for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, with that, I can see that it would be hard to grow on like social media and shit, especially with like the views that you have too, because you have certain views that a lot of people don't, or like like we said, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like most people do,
AKA
like fuck
the
with
algorithm.
the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm.
Fuck the algorithm.
They will not push that shit, bro. They will not.
That sucks, bro.
But that's cool though. At this point in my career, in this point as a musician, as an artist in general, I am trying to create what represents me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Whether people receive it or not, I feel like with due time, the right people will will find it.
You plan on making that like your sole focus, and you plan on making like a full career out of it?
Music?
Yeah.
For sure. I'm only working to fund my music career. And then whenever I get to a point where music can be my life. I'm running full steam ahead. I don't even have. It's just the idea. As soon as I see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm jumping. You feel me?
Cool thing with that is too. Once you start bringing enough income to switch over doing that full time, that'll free up a lot of time to do it even more.
Yeah. Y'all haven't seen what I'm capable of until I can dedicate all my time to music. You feel me?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Whenever like all my time is like with art, that's when things start taking
like
turn
true
for
potential.
I heard someone talking about like in relation to XXXTentacion, they were talking about how like he wasn't mainstream at first, but like his fan base loved him so much that like, and he grew it so big that they just pushed him into the mainstream. Like they didn't have a choice but for him to be mainstream just because his cult following was so big that like it had to be. I feel like if you just keep being yourself, like you can get to that point.
They're going to push you through. Like you have to. Yeah. That's why they call it a breakthrough artist. You have to break through this big ass veil that's covering the rest of the game. You feel me? Imagine like this big gray veil. Everybody's under it, and every now and then you have somebody that's able to just reach out and break through. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You just have to break through, and the only way to do that is if enough people push you up to the top.
That's what I was wondering. Like your plan to do that, because that's a big huge part of it. Like once you start getting in, and then I was like digging down into your views as well to see what you would say. Because some people would avoid that, saying that their views, because a lot of people, like you said, agree with you. A lot of people agree with you on some just like normal shit. But then a lot of people, like that's where I kind of caught you whenever you like I understood like what you were saying with Charlotte and App State, because their views kind of switch right there, because in Charlotte it's more, I would say, left leaning, and then whenever you get into App State it's more right leaning. So it is a huge difference whenever you come from there to here. And then most people are, I would say, for a loose term, programmed in a certain way, from more of a city area into a more of a rural area. Exactly.
I feel
rural and urban areas.
I feel like the best type of human is able to like see both sides of like right and left and be somewhere in the middle.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like the fact that like,
and understand them both.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the fact that like someone thinks that like you can conform yourself into this one category that they made for you, and you can slip right into there, you lose because you're now a puppet to their agenda. It's like
exactly, and whatever they say goes.
That's why I didn't join the frat, because like I feel like once you assume an identity that's already pre-created, you lose the ability to create your own. So like that's why I look at both sides, red or blue, blood, crip. You know what I'm saying? Democrat, Republican, it doesn't fucking matter. You feel me?
Yeah.
When you take a step back and you see like, hey, there is this purple area. You feel me?
Yeah.
Then you can take side from both sides. You can do whatever the fuck you want at this point. You feel me? And once you have that fluidity, you start to realize I kind of relate to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I will relate to the side to each story.
Then you
like
stop
we're all
looking
humans.
Then you stop looking at people as the other. That's a big thing. Oh, my fault. That's a big thing that happens. I've been hearing about like in politics or like countries conflicting. It's like you see the other side is like the other. They're like the bad people and we're the good people.
Yeah, the bad and good.
It's like no, dude, we're all just humans that like are trying to survive.
I could say something to get real controversial, but
Fuck it,
I'm not
bro.
gonna say it for my own being, just because like I feel like there's certain things that just should not be open. But like, bro,
on this podcast, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right. You're 100% right. I feel like division is the easiest way to control a population.
Yep.
When you can divide a group of people and make them think that they're enemies, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can control them easier. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So that being said, like, when you see that level of division happening, just understand, just understand. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, just understand that, like, it's not necessary. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's not necessary at all. I feel like there's a lot of, like, bro, we're all placed against each other for no fucking reason. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's all done through advertising. It's all done through propaganda. It's all done through social media. And at some point, probably when it's too late, a lot of people are going to realize, hey, we're kind of all on the same fucking team. You feel me? Everybody. No matter what the fuck you're doing, no matter who the fuck you're, like, no matter what it is about who you are, we all are on the same team. You feel me?
Yeah.
But the only thing that's dividing people is what other people say about us. You feel me? That's the only thing that's dividing people at this point. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really weird. But I think there's a lot of growth to take place. And a lot of people have tried to make that growth happen, but it has to happen organically. And if the majority want it to happen. But until then, we kind of just got to be authentically who we are and, make friends in your own little group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just keep doing that.
It's really like a biological thing because, like, back in the day, like, another tribe was, like, might be, like, a hostile threat. Like, you don't really know. Yeah. But now we have enough knowledge to where it's, like, we know that, like, the other people that believe something that we don't, they're not going to, like, I mean, I don't know. Mm-hmm. They might still hurt you, but it's different now. We have, like, more knowledge to be able to, like, talk about it first.
Yeah, I feel like
for sure
civility, if that makes sense, trumps over that tribal type idea. You feel me? Like, it depends on, like, what tribe are we in? Is it our neighborhoods? Is it our state? Is it our country? Like, how big is the tribe that you're in? You know what I'm saying? I think if my tribe is people in general. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The world is one big tribe. You feel me?
Yeah.
You can be as divided as you want. You can break it into as many categories as you want.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Assimilate to whatever category you want. Or you can have one big category, and that's the human race. That's the people. You feel me? And, like, however you decide to think about it determines, the way you perceive life. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
So,
and people are getting to a point where, like, if you don't agree with me, like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are getting it. And that's not how it should be. It should be like, if we disagree, we should talk about it and understand why we disagree with each other. Mm-hmm. And if you still disagree, then okay. I mean, that's cool. You know?
I feel like the best type of conversations is a type of conversation where, like, two people who think completely different things are able to come together, talk about it, go their separate ways.
Exactly.
They still believe what they believe, but they're able to take away, like, maybe this is something I should, like, think about, or maybe I still have these super core beliefs, but maybe, like, he was kind of right about this one thing that I might integrate into my life or my thoughts. Like,
yeah, and then you start thinking about it more, and then you really start having that conversation, especially with yourself or with other people, that may agree or disagree with you, and then you really start to understand the whole picture.
Yeah.
It's like people who fight it out, and then after they fight it out, and they shake hands afterwards. You
know I fuck with that heavy.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
That's real grown man shit, grown woman shit.
Absolutely.
Like, to be able to, like, take a loss or take a win
instead of taking it personally.
Yeah,
that's where the ego comes in.
Facts, yeah.
But at the same time, I do also think that complete ego death is not good.
Yeah,
I think
that's where, like, I've heard this story where, like, one woman have, like, this crazy ego death where, like, she was on shrooms probably, I think, or some psychedelic, and she literally lost her ego, and she thought she was, like, looking at a chair, and she thought she was a chair, and, like, she couldn't move. Like, ego makes you believe that you are your body, and
I identify as a chair.
Exactly. So it's like when you don't like believe that you're yourself, you believe that you're, like, literally everything. I mean, technically you are, because you are, like, at the end of the day, you are,
everything's
like, a part of the
connected.
source. But like, the fact that you think you're yourself allows you to experience the life as yourself.
Yeah, facts.
So that
it's a balance to it.
Yeah,
you feel me? I
exactly.
feel like people are so like carnal sometimes. Like, they're so much into the ego that they forget that, like, there's ego death. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, they forget the other side. Like,
ego death isn't, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Ego death isn't really good. Yeah, because it's
it's
more because your ego is a part of you, so you can't destroy it.
Yeah.
It's better to integrate it.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a healthy way. You feel me?
Absolutely.
But the only thing is, if you never experience ego death, then you never know there's another side to integrate with.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Like, there's no good without bad. There's no ego without knowing that, there's the other side to it.
Yeah.
So,
for real.
It's that balance, man.
For sure. So,
that's the hard part.
what do y'all think about
Fuck.
Where's got that devilish look?
Yeah, no, right?
He's scheming.
What do y'all think about the identification thing?
I don't think about it.
I feel like
where people are identifying
where I come from
with certain things that they maybe aren't.
What I think about that is my philosophy with that, like transgender people who identify as other things. My philosophy with that is like, I completely accept that you want to live your life like that, and I feel like that is cool that like some people can do that, but just don't force it upon me. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. It's like, it's like I totally respect someone who feels that way, but just don't force me to be a part of it. And like I feel like that's reasonable, and I feel like at the same time, like say someone has different pronouns, right? It's like, so people get so worked up about pronouns, like, oh, I shouldn't have to say this person's pronouns, but I feel like it's so small and simple, and it makes it's a way to make someone else feel so good about being in this body that they're in. They didn't choose to be in it, and maybe they want to be in a different one, and it's like, it's such a simple way to affirm to someone. It's like, I see you, I respect you, I will call you by this thing that you want to be called. That's how I feel it.
You accept them for who they are.
Yeah. I feel like it's not I think the problem in that community isn't the people, it's the social media, it's the way they're perceived. Because like have you ever met a right-winged transgender person?
Never.
Bro, when I say
never have I
cool
ever.
as fuck, bro.
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner.
Cool as fuck.
Actually,
bro,
Caitlyn Jenner for sure.
Because like,
I never met her, or him.
There's
or
nothing
her.
wrong with people that, you know what I'm saying, like want you to, you know what I'm saying, like when they try to force you to think a certain way because they think a certain way. That's the problem.
That's when it gets a problem.
That is derived from,
like,
you know,
so you're saying like, I'll call you whatever you want me to call you, but
you can't.
Don't force me to believe that you are what you're not.
Exactly. Because like as an individual, I feel
understand.
Like I retain the sense. I retain my ability to think what I want to think.
Yeah.
The same way you retain your ability to think that you want to think. You feel me?
Yeah.
And people don't want that though. They don't want to be seen as equal. They want to be seen as like over. They want to be like
superior.
Superior. You know what I'm saying? Like not superiority and thinking they're like better than you, but superiority in that like they want more than what they're asking for.
Like
that's a problem.
That's another problem with like spirituality, and because I've had some friends where they have an ego death, or they feel more spiritual than like other people, and instead of like using spirituality to feel more at one with everyone, they use it to feel like it makes them feel like better than people, and it's like, I'm up here, you're down here.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm.
They think that they know more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like narcissistic in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like, especially with the transgender conversation, the transgender people that I've actually sat down and had conversations with, you start to realize again there are no divisions between people. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're just people too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everybody's still just people, and if everybody just treats everybody like they're people, and
absolutely,
like what they want matters as well as your own, there is no more problems to that. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, we're all people, and we all have different perspectives on life. So my perspective on life is obviously not the same as a transgender perspective on life. In the same way they want me to, you know what I'm saying, accept their perspectives, they have to accept my perspective as well. But that's a conversation that a lot of transgender people don't like having. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You feel me? That they don't like having that conversation, but it's reality of the situation. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. But the transgender people that I know personally, because I'm first off, I'm more worried about the people that I know. Yeah. And not, because if you try to worry about the people that you see on social media, you're fucked, because like that dialogue has been altered heavily. So like,
absolutely,
the only people that I can really judge, whether like you're gay, straight, transgender, whatever you are, whatever you identify as, are the people that I've come in contact with personally. Yeah. So the people that I've come in contact with personally, cool as shit. You feel me? They've all been very, very dope. Same. Grounded, very dope people. You feel me? And that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with those people that I know. You feel me? But like when I start looking at social media and I start seeing what's happening on social media, and I look at the people that I know personally, I'm like, yo, like, not everybody's like that. You feel me? Like there's some really, really chill transgender people. You feel me? That aren't just like, yo, in your face, like you have to like think the way I think. You feel me? And there's some very chill straight people that just hang around, nothing but transgenders, gays, lesbians. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a weird, like, I feel like everything's blown out of proportion. You feel me? Everything's so blown out of proportion, because like it's not as extreme as it seems. You feel me? From a personality standpoint, I feel like people are a lot cooler than what they're deemed as. You know what I'm saying? By cool, I mean chill. Like, people can have like we can have a real transgender person. Like when I say real, I mean like not one that's been tainted by social media.
Yeah.
Sit down and have a conversation like this with us, and you realize like, bro, they're just like us. Like they're just like us. You know what I'm saying? They're exact same. You feel me?
Yeah.
But,
like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Like she'll do interviews and she'll talk about how all that shit is. But my problem with it is that me personally is that it's that like you said or like we were saying, it's that whenever they have some sort of transgenders come from like it's a gender dysphoria. So they essentially have a look on themselves that is not true. It's not true, and then they try to make you believe that what they believe is true, but is not true. They try to make you believe that it is true.
And I can't believe that like so many like people that are transgender can't. They hate to say that gender dysphoria is a real word. Like that's a real thing.
Exactly, it really is. They hate that,
and that's a real thing. Like,
and you can't have a conversation about. That's the problem that I have is that you're not able to have the conversation about it. Is because it gets taken the wrong way
every time,
every single time, and then that's really why like. I would love to have a transgender on the podcast, but what are the odds of me
agreeing to show up?
Yeah,
you'd be surprised, bro. A lot of
agreeing to show up and actually have the conversation about
that's true. I know one that probably would do it.
Really?
Yeah, just one for sure. But outside of that, I don't know. They'll be willing to have that conversation, but like it's a real thing, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not for the sake of somebody else's perception of me. You know what I'm saying? Like like. Whether they choose to live that lifestyle or not, that's their decision. You know what I mean? But we're not going to sit here and act like we stupid. You feel me? I'm not stupid. Like, gender dysphoria is a very real thing. It's a medical term. And
that must be terrifying, though, like, to feel.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to, like, feel for those people because that's got to be scary.
For sure. I genuinely feel sorry for those people. Yeah. But it's, it's like a complicated situation because if you say like the truth, like reality, then it gets twisted wrong and then it'll come back, and then they get on you about that shit. Like whenever I say I say like that sort of community because they sort of built like a cult like community. Like whenever I say that, like the LGBT community, they sort of kind of built a community where it's like a cult like, and they all kind of go away from reality. So
it's like a religion or something in a way?
Yeah, it's essentially like a religion because like a lot of people like that kind of take religion out of it, and then whatever they believe, people in that cult have to go along with it because it's like a religion, like a cult. A lot of the times it's not completely bad, because the term cult has been misconstrued in a way where we believe that a cult is like people like coming together and wanting to kill other people because of a certain belief that they have. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just they believe in just this one religion, and then that is their moral
think about it, like
ground.
Culture, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like a group of people with a certain type of mindset. You know what I mean? It's literally the same exact thing. It's just a subset of people with a particular mindset that differs from what everybody else thinks. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, I see why you would call it that. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Like social media like misconstrued how that community is in real life for sure though.
Yeah, definitely.
Appalachian, even though the Boone area is very right wing, the campus itself is very, very, very left. And it's like it's a weird dynamic between the two.
Yep.
But that being said, you get to see how they interact with one another, and it all comes down to a basic misunderstanding of of what each side stands on. You feel me? And
exactly.
because I chose to be over here and not on either side, you kind of get to look at both sides and say,
and really
I see
understand
what you're
them
saying,
both.
and I see what you're saying too. You know what I'm saying? I see where y'all can find a middle ground, but that's not my place.
I feel like both sides are like scared of each other too.
They are.
Like we
it's
talked
just
about,
they don't know enough about each other to really have a good.
They really don't.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like the whole like gender debate. You feel me? like it's such a weird debate because obviously there's a textbook definition, there's a scientific definition, and then there's people what they want to be called. You feel me? And all it comes down to is a one word, and that's gender. It's just the word. It's not even like the meaning behind the word. It's the word itself. Some people want this meaning for it. Some people want this meaning for it. If you want to be called something, then say you just want to be called that. They want to be like, no, that's my gender. You feel me? But then the scientists are like, no, that's not your gender. Gender means this. You feel me? From a textbook standpoint.
And then it sucks whenever. Go ahead.
No, it's just that one miscommunication of what that word means. It's this whole debate about it. You feel me? It's this whole fight about it. It's just one word, bro. Like,
seems like a lot of it comes down to just miscommunication in general.
Yeah, that's literally
like a lack of being able to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure. And like the word, like they're trying to misconstrue the word as well. Like they're saying that a lot of people are trying to say that sex and gender are not the same thing. What do you think on that?
What do I feel?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're the same thing. I feel like personally, this is the thing though. Personally, I can have my own viewpoints. Everyone else can have their own viewpoints. Personally, I feel like if you're a man, you're a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman. Personally,
so you think gender and sex are the same thing?
Yes. Yeah, that's what that means. Yeah. I feel like XX chromosomes is whatever that is, male or whatever.
Yeah.
Women. You know what I'm saying? I feel like whatever your chromosomes say and how that correlates to the gender that it represents, that's how that works. You feel me? Like, I feel like you can't, there's no gray area there. I feel like once you start creating that gray area, then you have to redefine what science is. You have to redefine what medicine is. You have to redefine, like, the basis of literally everything. You
and
feel
then
me?
see, my problem with that is that that's a slippery slope as well.
It's
because whenever you start to redefine things, like what stops us from redefining everything?
You're gonna
like
need
math.
Like math.
Try and build a
they
house
want to
with bad
create
math.
like people want to create fluidity in something that's very brick and mortar. Like there's no fluidity in like, if from my viewpoint again, there's no fluidity in something this basic. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like saying 1 + 1 can equal 3 if you wanted to. You feel me? And like, why doesn't it equal 3?
Yeah,
it does equal 3. No, it equals 2. I mean, everybody is always equal to. No, it equals 3.
Yeah,
you feel me? It's like, I mean, you can say it equals 3, and that's what you can believe. You can believe that equals 3, but I'm pretty sure it equals 2. You feel me?
That's like kind of the for something like that. It's like
that's the debate that's going on right now.
You can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of reality.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, and that's where we're at now. It's this constant debate back and forth. And like I said,
but I feel like it's like, for me, it's like 1 + 1 = 2. But okay, so when 1 + 1 = 3, it makes you feel better about existing. Yeah. When I'm around you, 1 + 1 can equal 3.
That's what I'm saying. But like, from a sense of
how
like,
I interpret life, 1 + 1 will always equal 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's how I go.
It's like, if that's what you want to believe, you feel me? If that's what makes you feel wholeheartedly like that's who you are and that's what makes you feel good, fucking fine. Like, come on, like, we can stop arguing about this now. Like, if that's what you want to believe, bro, then believe it. You feel me? Believe it wholeheartedly. That is you. You feel me? That's perfectly fine. You feel me? But me over here, I can be different from you. You feel me? And that's the thing. That's the dynamic. They don't want anybody to be different. You feel me? Right. Different does not mean, oh, you're different in the way that we like. Different means I'm different completely. You feel me?
Yeah.
That means like I'm a completely different person with my own mentality.
I think you can be different though in the confinements of reality.
Yeah, for real. That's what I'm saying. But like when I say, I'm saying that like people don't like different if it makes them mad. You feel me?
Yeah.
People don't like different if it like messes with how they view the world.
Yeah, and if I have to like steer away from having that conversation in order to be big, bro, fuck being big, bro. I'd rather be real, bro. Like it's okay. Like I have so many gay friends, so many, you know what I'm saying? Like I have like a couple of transgender friends, just really just not a lot of transgender people. And we are all comfortable with having our discussions. We don't all have to think the same way. I don't have to be gay in order to talk to a gay person, you feel me? But they're comfortable knowing that I'm completely straight, and I'm comfortable knowing they're completely gay. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. We should be very comfortable in our own respective fields. You feel me? And I should be comfortable thinking as a Christian man. You feel me? And I should be able to have those Christian conversations with somebody who may not feel like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's like not, following that lifestyle. That's completely fine. You feel me?
So you consider yourself a Christian?
I am. Yeah,
you
very
are?
much so. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So like that being said, it's like. Bro, like,
so if you if your beliefs as a Christian man, if your beliefs were to basically set a barrier for you to essentially have a career in what you want to have a career in, are you okay with that?
Yes, 100%. But I don't think that it would. I feel like with music, I feel like you have your audience. You feel me?
Yeah.
You have the audience that you relate to. All that's
Yeah.
going to do is just push me into a direction where my audience actually is. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not my audience is the mass majority or if my audience is my subset group of people, I'm fine with that. I don't necessarily have to be fucking famous in order to feel accomplished as a musician. You feel me? I just want to be able to reach the people that fuck with what I'm creating, the people who are emotionally attached to the music that I'm making or the art that I'm displaying. That's the people that I want to reach. You feel me? Yeah. And like if it came to a point where like obviously in the circumstances where I got really, really big and my Christian beliefs became the deciding factor on whether or not I stay big or go small, I'm going small every time. You feel me?
Yeah.
Fuck it. There's no way that I lose myself in a field where I'm supposed to know myself. You feel me? The second that you lose touch with who you are as a musician in order to maintain your fame, you lost. You literally lost the whole meaning behind your musicianship. You feel me?
That's good.
Yeah,
because that's basically like selling your soul, right? That's
really what selling your soul is. It's when when you give up who you are as a person
and what you believe
for the sake of fame, and that's never gonna happen with me.
And as we talked about,
mm-hmm.
like your fans will be able to tell what you do. That
you can feel when someone's not being genuine in their beliefs. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I want to cultivate a type of environment where people are very comfortable being themselves. I want my fans to feel like they don't have to be Christian to listen to my music. You feel me? They don't have to be straight. They don't have to be. They can be whatever the fuck they want to be to listen to my music. I want to create an environment where you can feel comfortable being unique and truly unique. You feel me? Like in the worst sense. Like you can be like unique in a bad way. You can be unique in a good way. You can be unique in a way that nobody fucking agrees with at all. You feel me? Or you can be unique in a way that everybody agrees with. It doesn't matter. You feel me? The more comfortable that you are with being who you are, that's the people that I want to relate to. You feel me?
Yeah.
People who are truly themselves, whether or not people agree with it or not. You feel me? So I'm cool with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I fuck with it. Hell yeah, I fuck with that shit heavy.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna obviously be an ongoing problem. Not problem, but conversation as my career progresses. But that's not one that I'm shying away from. You feel me?
And honestly, that's one of the reasons that I got out of making rap, because I'm good at rap, but that's along with what I said, like I didn't like the way that I sounded. But on top of that, it's that I was kind of portraying something that I really wasn't. You know, and I was trying to be something that I really wasn't. And then it kind of contradicted like my beliefs as well, as in like what I wanted as a person, and then how I wanted to be successful in everything. And then I was shying away from what I wanted and shying away from my beliefs.
There's a lot. It takes a lot.
And
of
then it kind of disconnected each other.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool that you were able to like recognize that and like pivot in a different direction.
Yeah, more represented you, bro. Because a lot of people can't do that. I'm surrounded by artists on a daily basis that are trying to be something that they're not. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And it's weird, bro. Like starting off, like I said, when you're young in your creation, you're gonna emulate whatever you hear. You're gonna emulate whatever you feel like is popular, whatever you feel like is representatives of the time. It represents the time that you're in. You know what I'm saying? But as I started to grow as an artist, I started to realize if I'm gonna do this for longevity purposes, I have to realize and come to terms with who I am. The more you do that, the more real you are with yourself, and the more like steadfast you are in who you are, then your creation becomes easy. The process to create, it becomes so easy. You feel me? So,
yeah.
It's dope. It's dope, man.
For sure.
That shit is dope.
Yeah. I feel like we're all here to create to some extent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I mean, conversation.
Essentially, that's what we're doing, right? Everybody here's creating something. This podcast.
Yeah, art and shit.
Yeah, videography. And what are you doing? What are you doing?
Real estate.
Real estate. Literally, I was about to do that, but the only reason why I didn't get into real estate is because I did not have the time. Because I know there's a lot of time commitment on the front end. And
it's constant calls. But I was lucky. I was in a unique position from the family that I come from. My mom, she'd been doing it for 20 years, and she had learned from some great people. and she had her own brokerage, and I'm gonna go work for her. Mm-hmm. And then, as long as I do good, and 10, 20 years down the line, I might be managing it myself. And then what I'd really like to do is own like lots of properties, be a landlord. Like the person that owns this place is in Oklahoma, and he a lot of different properties too. And he just has people that he has hired that manage these properties. And that way, the reason why I like to do that is because it'll give me more time to spend with family. Because at some point, things would grow to a point where I can't manage it. I have hired people to do it for me. That way I can spend time traveling with family and friends. Because honestly, like when you were talking about like the only thing that really matters is like this moment. Exactly. I wanted to spend that time with friends and family. Not have to focus so much on money in the longer term.
That's beautiful, you're talking about something very valid, and that's the only currency that we really have is time. That's the true currency.
Absolutely. 100%.
You're trading your time for paper, but the currency has always been time. Mm-hmm. So when you find out a way to create a vehicle that frees up your time, you know what I'm saying, and makes money on its own, that's the goal. That should be everybody's goal, is to make money passively so that they get their time back, the true currency.
Yeah, I think a big problem with like money and shit is that people really fall in love with the money instead of what they get from the money, as in like the freedom from it. Yeah. That's what they get from it, is freedom. And
that's the goal, bro.
Yeah, people start to mix it up with what they really like, the freedom.
It frees up a lot of time, and it makes you not have to worry about certain things. Like, how am I going to feed my kids? Or, are they going to, if they want to go to college, will they be able to? I don't want to have to worry about
that. It's interesting you said that. I was actually going to pivot the conversation and just ask, do you guys think you would have kids?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. How many do you want? Or do you want any?
I don't know. I often go back and forth because, like, I think I would be a good dad, but like bringing a kid into this world is kind of a crazy like decision. Especially like
it really is.
Once you bring them in here, you have to make sure they can maneuver properly.
Yeah, like I definitely wouldn't have a kid unless until I mean in a perfect world I wouldn't have a kid until like I'm completely financially set up. And I feel 100%. Like a lot of people either aren't in a position to do that, or something happens on accident, and it's like, yeah, like that's crazy how that can happen. And like I really want to like not have a kid and
be in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it can create a lot of stress. I've known people that that's happened to, and it's like a mad dash to figure things out.
Yeah,
that takes several years, and then you figure it out in 9 months.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a tribe though. I want a good amount of kids. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you said, bro. I won't have kids until I'm financially ready to do so, because there's certain areas of life that I wasn't afforded that I want to make sure my kids are able to have. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's a certain viewpoint on life that, like, obviously lack builds character. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not having everything will build that character, but at the same time, lack gives you this pinhole effect. It makes, you know what I'm saying, the small viewpoint that you have on life seems so bright you can't even see what's around it. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you have that financial security, you take the covering off the pinhole and you can finally see this grand picture called life. You can actually get out. You can actually travel. Widen your viewpoints, and that's what I want my kids to be able to have. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that can be hard too. What if you're not financially stable until you're in your 40s or 50s?
I won't be. I'll be financially stable way before then. I'll sell drugs before that. Yeah, no wow.
Yeah, it's hard to...
Nah, I'm just playing, but nah, man. I mean, I think financially stable takes a different form for everybody. I don't necessarily have to be the richest person on the planet in order to consider myself financially stable.
Just got to be able to provide for the kid.
To be able to provide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For that portion of life. Obviously, there's a window, I feel like, of like when you should have a kid. Because I want to have a kid at like 40 and be like, okay, by the time I turn 60, my kid's just now hitting their 20s.
Yeah.
No, that's something I constantly think about because I want to be able to still relate to my kid, of course.
Yeah.
So there's a window of opportunity there in that zone for me personally, but yeah, I'll make sure that I'm good before then.
Yeah,
I gotta be.
For sure.
I fuck with that. How many kids do y'all want?
Man, as many as my wife can have.
Yeah.
That's fine. I want probably like I have 4 siblings and I have 5 siblings, but I want probably 4 too.
So by that previous statement, I assume that you want to only have kids in wedlock.
Nah. I probably end up I plan on being financially straight very soon to now. That being said, I want to get married before I have kids.
Oh yeah.
How do y'all feel about marriage? I feel like marriage. I feel like marriage is crazy. Like I'm not saying I would never. He was like, I feel like hell no. I feel like I'm not saying I would never get married because never say never anything. But I feel like the fact that we need like the government to like sign a piece of paper to like say that we're in love is kind of crazy. And like the fact that like when you get divorced you have to like pay.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it can be a bad deal.
It's insane. Yeah, it's like
I
don't know. I just feel like marriage as a concept like made sense back in the day where like people were trading their like wives for like to this guy for like land and stuff like that. But now it's like now it's like I don't know. I feel like why do we need a piece of paper to like say we're in love? You know.
I feel like marriage takes place way before the paper sign.
Yeah.
I feel like it happens more so inside, and then you sign the paper for like I guess official reasons.
For legal reasons.
Yeah, for legal reasons. But I like marriage. I think that's I think it's a cool thing. I feel like I'm not a player type though. Like I don't, I can't. Dude, one woman is enough to. I mean, that's enough to learn to truly learn.
Yeah.
Than to try to have multiple at the same time. I just feel like that's a headache.
So are you against marriage?
No, I'm not against it. I just don't know. I'm more like unsure about what the right path is for that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Unsure. What are you unsure about?
I just don't know. Like biologically, like we weren't really created to be like for one person, right? Like biologically, we were meant to like spread our seed like as much as possible, right? So it's like I don't know, like. If one person is like, I don't know, like confining yourself to one person is kind of like taking away. It is an exchange. It's like you're taking away your experience of multiple people for like a over time development of a single relationship. So it's like it's kind of like it's kind of it's a trade off.
Yeah, because it's like
which I do understand. I'm just not sure personally if it's for me yet.
Yeah,
but I'm also young.
Yeah, but I said we're super young, bro. Like we're talking about decisions that are made in the future.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I feel like to your what you said, is that trade off. Like I'd rather build that connection because a strong woman, from my point of view, a strong woman can really, really, really alter the person that you are in the right way, in all the right ways. You feel me? We talked about duality earlier.
Yeah.
You never really get to experience that duality that a man and woman brings until you actually commit yourself to a person for that long of a period of time.
Yeah, you work as a team.
Yeah,
definitely.
Once you take that time to commit yourself, you will become such a well-rounded person. I'm in a relationship as of right now, and I would not be the person I am today if I wasn't in one. Because there's perspectives on life, emotional intelligence, just in general, just having emotional intelligence. You have to in order to be with the woman for a long time.
Absolutely,
you have to be a good communicator.
Yeah,
really do.
And you can't be an artist or a rapper without being a good communicator.
Absolutely.
That in general, I wouldn't have started music in general without. I wouldn't have inspiration for a lot of my songs without a woman.
Wow.
So it's super important to me personally to develop that relationship.
Yeah.
Now, if you have multiple women, you can still have an inspiration for music. You can have a lot of inspiration with multiple women, but it's just like, what type of impact do you want to have? Like where do you want to be at? Where do you see yourself? You know what I'm saying, and especially considering we're all young, I feel like some people need that period to where they're experimenting and you know what I'm saying, just having those connections, as many connections as possible, for the simple fact of you have to see what you like and what you don't like. Because especially as a young person, you can settle down with somebody and not realize that that's not the person for you. Your person may be in a whole nother.
And then with that as well, like whenever it becomes to like sexual activity, like or sexual exclusivity as well, is that because I got into a deep conversation with this about the.
Do you believe in soul ties?
Soul ties?
Mm-hmm.
To an extent.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent. Cause
I'm actually another question.
Go ahead.
Go off of that one. Do you think soul ties are the same for a man and a woman? Do you think we perceive soul ties the same?
No.
I feel like this is some shit I think about all the time, but I feel like men and women are on like completely different frequencies and experience life like completely different. Like I feel like if a man was able to go into and experience the mind of a woman, he would think that he had like supernatural abilities.
Facts. Yeah.
Because I feel like women have like a higher perception of reality and men have like a lower, not low in a bad way meaning, but just like deeper, if that makes sense. Like perception of reality, just because we're more like logical. I feel like
same more reality, perception of reality.
It would be like the same thing for a woman though. Like if a woman was able to experience a man's mind, like she would also think she had.
Well, women are more naturally, biologically, they're more socially intelligent.
Yeah,
like from the start,
and they're more in tune with their bodies
and they're able to pick up social cues better than men are. Because we are just looking at it as from a logical standpoint.
Facts. Even if you don't, like, even if you're not in a relationship, have a woman on your team.
Definitely.
I've dodged so many bullets because I've had women in my life that just told me, like, that's not a good person.
That you can just talk to. Yeah.
They just know things. They just know, like, they
a
can
lot
just
of the times,
feel.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just have that feeling, like, that gut feeling. That's so important.
That's not brainwashed by any sort of thing. Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah. Because they definitely have to see for reality for what it is, and then they're able to really catch on to more social things than, especially whenever it comes to social intelligence and emotional intelligence as well. They're able to catch on to more things than men are because we are more logically driven as well too. So like whenever there are people that like homosexuals, they are more or less have the opposite sex brain tuned into them. So that's why that they are the way that they are. And that, I mean, I guess that's a different conversation that goes down a different road, but but it is something to take a note on, is because, like you said, there are gender roles biologically as well.
About to say, because you were talking about like homosexuals, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that that female nature is innate? Like, do you think that is downloaded into a female at birth, or is that a learned behavior? Because a lot of homosexuals, they have more feminine energy.
Yeah.
Is that like because they? Is it because
it's like a presence. You can tell.
Is it because they learned it, or is it because, or I feel like
it's both.
It's both.
It's interesting how in like homosexual relationships, like there's a more masculine and a more feminine. Like it's still the yin yang.
You still have to have that sexual polarity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a book up there at the one at the very top. It's the male brain, and then there's another one in there, that pink and black one, pink, white, and black one. It's the female brain, and it talks about that. And then at birth, males and females tend to gravitate towards toys differently. Whenever they're younger and like toddlers and shit, they tend to gravitate more to different toys that usually align with them and their sex. Usually they will do that naturally and without being taught like that you have to play. But at the same time, like if a kid is taught that they are something that they're not, they will believe that growing up.
Facts. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because that's something I always wondered.
Yeah.
As far when it comes to like homosexual people, because a lot of them, they say that they were born that way. You know what I'm saying? They believe, they truly wholeheartedly believe they were born that way. They say that like with all divinity, or like with all seriousness. And
that's what some people say. But there are also homosexual people that was, I don't want to say taught that, but they kind of have like a false sense of reality for some exterior reasons, if that makes sense. External reasons that's not internal. Yeah.
Like the
because like gay people that are born with some sort of brain that is completely different than what,
like the brain chemistry. I think they did research on it. So
chemistry
like
is different.
They do brain scans and stuff like that. And like you could actually tell like their chemical levels were different than like
exactly like their
male counterparts or whatever.
Yeah, they are born like you said, they have more female features. They are pumped with more estrogen in them than testosterone. Because more males are born with more testosterone, and then females are born with more estrogen. So then that's how they develop, and then at some point their brain doesn't develop completely into what the body aligns with.
I have a question. Isn't in this generation there's more gay people than ever before, right?
Yep.
Like ever? Do you think that's
Definitely.
due to social programming?
Yes.
Let's say because
I've already I've already thought about this for sure.
It's like
100%.
That's something that has to be talked about because it's like
It is.
I wonder.
That's the same thing with the transgender thing too. That's what I was talking about. Like the LGBTQ community has essentially became like a cult, and then it relies on these people that are confused.
Someone's gonna clip that of you saying it's become a cult, and they're gonna miss the whole explanation that happened.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, they're gonna miss the explanation that happened like 20 minutes ago of you explaining what you meant by cult. Like the actual definition of that, but sorry. But
I mean, but even if they do, I'm still okay with
100%
with it being called a cult, because that's essentially what it is. Because they rely and they feed off of the people that are they are essentially ignorant about certain things, and they have no idea what reality actually is. So then there is a group right here that they can fit in with. They don't fit in. There's like outliers, if you would. And then they have this group over here, like the LGBTQ community, and then they keep on adding letters onto it too to make more people feel accepted, if you would. And then so then they see that, and then they're like, oh, that's a sense of community right there. Why don't I gravitate to that? Because there are people out here that are not in a community, and then they are alone, if you would, you know.
But it's starting to become like, at least outskirts of it, or what's portrayed, it's starting to become pretty radical, similar to the feminist movement. And that's why a lot of women are dropping off of the feminist movement, because it's becoming so radical.
Exactly.
Same with, like, transgenderism and drag shows at children's, like at schools and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like, it's starting to become pretty bizarre. Like I think we can all agree.
It's bizarre.
Like I don't care what type of way you flip it. There's no world where that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not.
So like
I still don't think we need to like be talking about sex like with children
ever. Like there's no straight
Definitely not.
transgender drag shows, strip shows. Like this shouldn't be done. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously not all drag shows are strip shows, but even still, like I've seen videos of what they do in schools. That's never okay.
Never.
They shouldn't even, whether the child makes a decision to to do that in the future, that's their decision. But they should not have that implemented into schools, ever.
Definitely not.
That's where the line gets drawn, and a lot of transgender people drew that same line.
Just like why is a child thinking about sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing with toys and
I just feel like
playing in the dirt.
For real.
Yeah.
Relax.
And that's
Remember
it's
those
so
days? Like,
hypersexualized too, because like all these little kids also have a phone, and then they're also gravitated to porn as well, and then they have to see all that shit, and then they have to have that conversation, and then they can't have the conversation with their parents because they're afraid that they may disagree with them, and then they look at their parents as wrong, and then they look at their teachers as more of an authority figure than their parents.
And now they've given teachers about just as much power as a parent and what they can do to the kid. Like if you put, that's why I want my kids to be homeschooled, because like in this day and age, you can literally, schools will literally put ideologies in your kid's head without
like indoctrinate them or something. Almost.
And it's like they're just there to learn the subjects that you're teaching them. You shouldn't be teaching them a lifestyle.
Like a school could push an agenda, the individual teacher could push an agenda, and you're sitting at home or like at work as a parent, you don't know what your kid is learning.
Yeah. The kid can the kid just choose on their own. Like we get it. You want the population to decrease. I'm just playing. But like seriously though, like can the kid just choose on their own for once?
For sure.
Without all the advertising and because that's when the child is most moldable in those years. And those years they spend 90% of the time away from the house, away from their parents. And in that period of time, they're indoctrinating them with whatever they want them to have.
Yeah.
And it used to be Christian values. Then they took that out, and then now it's becoming whatever the teacher wants to teach them. And that's a dangerous position to be in.
Yeah. And that's, it's tough because, like, the feminist movement, like modern feminists, that's why I say that, is because it's mixing together with the cult, if you would, the LGBTQ cult. It really is a cult because, like I said, they feed off of the people, off of the people that are more corruptible, and then those people tend to gravitate towards a community. Well, don't fit in with any sort of other community, so then they'll gravitate to that, and then they have to abide by all of their rules as well, and then everything that makes them what they are. And that's why I'm so against like the modern day feminism, is because it tends to all get mixed together too. What do you think about Black Lives Matter?
As a black person?
No. As a person.
Facts though. As a person, I feel like Black Lives Matter did a good job at not portraying black people properly. Be completely honest.
That's not what I thought you was about to say.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Hell yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
I'm a real person. We talked about this before. I'm a real person with a very outside point of view on reality. You feel me? So when you see these type of movements, consider me out of it. Despite on what way and how simple, whether it's race, whether it's sexual orientation, no matter what it is, you can consider me on the outside of that. I'm never going to identify with any sort of group of people. Yeah. Because the second that you identify with a group of people,
it just divides you.
They can create whatever, like, they like, then they combine Black Lives Matter with LGBTQ, the whole movement, they combine them together. Say we're all marginalized, let's all combine together. And it's like, I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community, but the Black Lives Matter movement is now combined with it, and it's all moving together, which is nothing wrong for the people that identify with both of those. Y'all can, but you know what I'm saying? My ideologies differ slightly from your ideologies. That being said, I can't follow the movement anymore. And even in the beginning, when it was just all Black Lives Matter, you feel me? I talked to people, activists that were walking and stuff like that and doing all the riots and stuff and everything. And I would ask them.
Yeah, because it was bad in Charlotte, too.
It was my friends. It was all my friends to say, what are you marching for? And they could not tell me. I would ask them all, what are you marching for? They could not tell me.
I have the pictures of the city. Whenever I actually went to the city after all that shit went down.
Nobody could tell me what they were marching for. And don't get me wrong, I understand our oppression. That's not what I'm saying. I understand completely the oppression that we went through.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna move with knowledge.
Yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
going to make a move, do it in a way that's gonna actually do something. You shouldn't be burning down your own cities.
Definitely
for the simple
not.
fact of you being angry. If you're mad, make your own city.
And some of those people that they was rioting too was black owners.
Exactly.
They didn't make any fucking sense.
And it's like, bro, like at some point we have to wake the fuck up and realize that we're all being pinned against each other for one reason. For one reason, you know? So eventually people are going to start realizing that, but it's going to be too late. But that being said,
division sells, bro.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
I mean, so to answer your question about the Black Lives Matter movement, I feel like that the Black Lives Matter movement just took advantage of a whole lot of people with a lot of emotion and not enough knowledge to back it up.
Yep.
You know, I feel like if people had enough knowledge to back it up, they would be trying to change laws and not walk in the streets.
Yeah.
You don't get anything accomplished by storming the Capitol building.
Yeah.
You don't get anything accomplished by walking on the streets unless you're trying to create a law, unless you're trying to actually do something within the papers to change something. You're not going to get anything passed. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think as of right now, and since I've been born, I've never felt less than anybody on the planet of this earth.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we have a bad habit of marginalizing ourselves in a sense. And I'm saying this in a room full of white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel less than any of y'all. Like, in the most respectful way possible.
Definitely.
I feel like we're all on a very even playing field. You know what I'm saying? And just in our approach to life. Yeah, a lot of like white people may be at a higher point in life solely because of an ancestor or somebody in their past did, had slaves or had this or had that or oppressed black people to get to that point. So I understand there may be an unlevel playing field in that sense and from a history standpoint. But I believe enough in myself to know that I can change my history.
Yeah.
I feel like a victim mentality is a crazy way to live life.
Yeah, like I believe in myself enough to know that I can create wealth for generations to come. I can be the pivotal moment in my family's history.
Exactly.
So instead of dwelling on the fact that I was oppressed, let me show my people how we can change that. You know?
That's why cool. I don't believe in like most civil rights movement, most modern civil rights movements now. Because of
it's bullshit.
It is bullshit because like
I feel like after MLK and all type of stuff, that was the that was one of the after that it started to taper off.
Yeah.
You know, that's when laws stopped getting passed because it became all emotional.
Exactly. Know? And then like what else are you fighting for?
Exactly.
You know, because if you have the same rights as everybody has the same exact rights.
Yeah, what law are they fighting for? I'm saying this as a black person. I don't know what they're fighting for.
Exactly. And most of them don't know either.
And they maybe I'm saying that out of a point of ignorance. I may not know because I just feel so free. Maybe it's the God within me. I don't feel second to any person to know that like I have to fight for something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're fighting for. I feel free as shit. Like I don't feel second to nobody.
So you don't think that you're oppressed in any sort of way because of your skin color?
Bro, no. If anything, I'm privileged. I'm privileged because of my skin color, bro. You know how much free shit I get in Boom solely for being black?
For real?
Bro, because
what the fuck?
Because you say black people have a victim mentality. Some white people feel so bad about what their ancestors did that they just look out for me for no reason.
They didn't do anything.
Bro, I don't have to argue. I don't have to do shit. And like, I'm not oppressed at all. You're only as oppressed as you want to be. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not oppressed. I'm not.
Yeah.
And the second that people stop thinking like that, we actually start doing well.
Yeah.
And it's not to do better. It's to do well. Like
the only thing that really like matters is belief.
Yeah.
Like once you believe something, it's real, and it's like it's hard to like. Bro, like you can't really just like say that and understand it. You kind of have to experience it, but it's like it's just so true. I've been seeing it so much. Like two people can do the same thing, but like one person can really believe it, and like the other person can just not. And the person that believes it is gonna like experience it differently.
I think it may be because I'm not completely American.
Sorry, I gotta piss again.
You're good.
See, that's what black coffee does to you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just coffee in general.
Because now
you just chug it and chug it and chug it. And then you gotta piss all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I don't think, honestly, I don't think that there's a single fucking podcast where I haven't got up and took a piss.
Are you serious?
I'm actually serious.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
It's mixed with a small bladder too.
Oh shit.
And the thing with caffeine too is like it dehydrates you. So even after you drink one, you go use the restroom, and then you have to drink water afterwards, so that way you're not dehydrated.
Oh,
and it's just so it's a constant back and forth. And then like for him and me, we drink like a whole pot a day.
Are you serious?
Well,
but that's you said this. I mean, it's within your limits.
Yeah, it's within your limits. Like you can have 4 or 5 like cups of coffee, and you'll be okay. But the thing is, you will build like a tolerance to it. And so if you don't have it that day, then you will feel real sluggish. And you might even get like migraines and stuff too.
Really?
I've had it happen to me a couple of times. Yeah.
So it's like, you talking about like withdrawals?
Yeah, you'll have caffeine withdrawals.
That's OD.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. I think I have that with sugar.
Sugar is really a drug, bro.
Yeah, it's the most addictive drug there is.
They have like pixie sticks, bro.
Them shits hit, bro. Pixie sticks, bro. I could go for one of those, bro. That should be kind of wild. That's what we gotta do after this.
Pixie sticks.
Hell yeah.
Is it still going?
Yeah, I mean, it's still going. I was just hoping that all the shit was aligned.
Oh.
Was aligned good.
This would have been a shitty time to figure out it wasn't.
Yeah, I know. It usually is. It's all good.
Tight.
Nah,
but yeah, back to like belief. Like I'm in a sales job right now, right? And it's like before we can go out and like sell the product, like they had to make us believe the product was good before we could go out and sell it and believe.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, and then I see like the people that don't believe the product is good don't make sales, and the people that really believe that's a good product are able to make sales. So it's like, yeah, like if you believe something, like you can really like feel, do, experience anything. I feel like. It's all about. It's simply just, do you believe it or not?
Yeah, I think that's crazy. That's a crazy thing. Whenever, like, back to the like race thing, like they keep on bringing it up. Like they keep on.
What Morgan Freeman saying? He said you want to end. He said you want to stop racism. Just stop fucking talking about it.
Yeah, I remember
watch how
seriously.
You just watch how it disappears.
It will. It will completely disappear. And like the concept of it is just because it's just another way. It's just another way to describe somebody. That's literally all it is. He's like, because you're describing somebody based off of what they look like. And then that's all that race is and like ethnicity too, because that's, I mean, I guess it's kind of two different things. It kind of goes hand in hand, but it's basically like two different things. But
You know what I like? Because, you know, I went to App.
Yeah.
I went to App. My first year, it was 4% black people. Everybody that was black at App played a sport.
Yeah.
So I was like, I realized a lot of things about white people at App. It's not that white people were racist. A lot of white people were just curious. A lot of white people have never really hung out with a black person before a day in their life. Like, in all seriousness, like, and I was like their first black person they ever met. Like, seriously, I'm not,
For real,
bro. I'm not lying to you.
That must be a crazy experience.
Because we're from the city, so it's a little different. Because, you know, we're surrounded by all races, but
yeah,
like a lot of white people that I met at App never really hung out with a black person before. So they have all these different questions. I'm like, you're not fucking racist. You just don't know. Like, you just don't know. So like after that experience, first off at App, I don't think I've ever encountered a single racist person. The one person that I did know that people were saying he was racist was nice as shit to me. So like I don't see where racism coming in. I'm saying if he wasn't, we could fight about it. Like, that's cool. But that's still the homie. Like, he's still cool as shit. I'm not gonna say his name because like that's fucked. But like, cool dude. But like I've never actually met someone who actually hated me because of my race. And I know there's people out there like that. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. All I'm saying is that I don't feel oppressed because of it. And the second that I start feeling inferior solely because of the color of my skin, I've lost.
Yeah.
And the people who allow that to take place in their life are saying that I'm automatically in second place.
Yeah.
And that's never gonna happen over here. Like, I'm very comfortable in my skin.
Yeah, I've always noticed like going to parties too, like in App and in Charlotte. Like there's been a couple parties in Charlotte where I was literally the only white person there. Or you and me, we would literally be the only white people there.
Be like 300 people.
Seriously. And we would be the only white people, seriously.
That's one thing that I implore white people to do. Because I've brought my white friends from App to Charlotte that's never been in a black party.
Wow.
And to watch them have to assimilate to black culture,
yeah,
it's so fucking funny. Because
that must be crazy.
It
as
really
a black
is.
person, like, you're forced to assimilate to white culture because we're in a predominantly white society. So when I go to a PWI, a predominantly white institution, I have to sort of assimilate to white culture, being at that college.
Yeah.
So a lot of white people don't get that same experience, and because of that, they're not as well-rounded as they could be.
Yeah.
So for the white people that want a more well-rounded viewpoint on life, get you some black friends. Go to a black party. Hang out with black people. Go to the fucking cookouts. You're invited. Everybody's pretty much invited to the cookout if you're willing to accept that our cookouts are our cookouts. You feel me? Like, it's a black cookout. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, like, everybody needs that viewpoint. So like the people that I've brought from App to see what a black function looks like, they be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're
sweating.
awesome.
They're like, no fucking way. On the side of the wall, like, bro, they fighting or they friends. Like,
literally
like,
on the side of the wall.
Yeah. They're like, bro,
like, you'll see
what
that
the
shit.
Fuck? Like,
going
like,
wild.
Because it's fun as shit though. But the
It
thing
is.
is, the white people that I know that have been successful at assimilating have been the coolest people on the planet because they fucking get it. You feel me? They just get it. They get both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And same thing here. The same, like the black people are at, such as myself, who can assimilate.
Yeah.
Sell out shows. You feel me? Like, it's just like, whenever you get it, everybody gets it. Everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, like what I was saying, like vice versa too. For App, I've definitely been to App parties where there hasn't been a single black person there.
For real, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
Or maybe like one or two. And I mean, like, and then at Charlotte, like I said, there's been and you can honestly like kind of tell a difference too. Like whenever I'm at like a predominantly black function, for some reason, like I can tell people are more fun there. And not even that. You can see that people are more there in that moment.
Interesting.
We're present.
Yeah, if
I noticed that.
you've noticed that, like, like there's been a lot of parties that I've went to that is predominantly white too, and then they kind of take the present moment for granted as well, and they're like sitting like this.
They're passive
the whole time at the party.
So interesting to hear you say that.
And you know, it's mostly basic white girls.
The thing is, bro,
if you want me to be honest, dude.
It's so like I view it the exact opposite way. Because
really?
I'm guaranteed, like, bro. And I don't know why it's this way. But it's not that whenever I bring my black friends to App parties, they have the most fun they've ever had in years. Because it seems like white people are so in the moment with the fun. I used to say that white people are so fucking rich that they don't care about trying to impress anybody.
Yeah.
they have the money aspect of it, so they're not trying to look cool. They just have fun, you know. And when people get to experience that for the first time, like, bro, like, I don't have to stand on the wall, I don't have to post up no more. I can just jump out in the middle.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
But in retrospect, no, I feel like black people bring a unique perspective to parties because we dance. You know, we dance, and there's a rhythm aspect that we have, like, in the overall party. Like, there's a rhythm that happens in the party. There's a sense of community that happens in the party that white people don't necessarily have in their parties too. So it's like it's give and take on both ends. You know,
and you know what? It also goes back. I think we're kind of contradicting what we're saying too.
It's
because it goes back. It goes back to us talking about, like, if you didn't talk about race, it wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
And then you see...
But stereotypes are real, though. We can't pretend like they're not.
They are to an extent
yeah.
because the people also resonate from where they're from as well.
Yeah.
You know, so... I think that's weird. That's weird, though, that we see it in two different ways, too.
Because it's something new to experience.
Exactly. But also, I think it's also has to do with the culture in that specific area.
Facts. That's true.
I think that's what it is, because whenever I say predominantly black, I say that most of them that I've been to has been in Charlotte, which is a predominantly black area. And then App is more of a predominantly white area. And it's two completely different cultures too. And I think that neither one of them has to do with skin color. It's just the location and how people are in that general location.
You travel the world and stuff. Like,
so then
you figure that stuff out as you travel.
And then you and me both was associating that general area with a race. Color of a skin. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Because I just caught on to that.
There is an App State culture for sure. Like, App State's party culture is very unique in what it is. Now, you're right, 100%. Yeah. Like, we're associating the area because I'm pretty sure black people in Charlotte are much different from
black people in App.
You feel me? 100%. You know
100%.
So, like,
yeah, you're right. I think it's just a culture thing.
Yeah, it's
instead
culture.
Of a skin color, like we was just associating it.
Yeah,
with.
It's just people in general.
Definitely.
But one thing I will say though,
people from different areas.
The people from App party much different from the people from Charlotte, and people from Charlotte party much different from. The people
on God, and honestly,
yeah.
I've had fun experiences in either place. Yeah.
I feel like they both offer different things, but like my dogs in Charlotte, they don't play. Like Gnarly Boys, like they throw functions. When I say like lit functions, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not what a typical Charlotte party looks like because I mean they run the Charlotte party scene, but like everything else in Charlotte is a little bit more standoffish. It seems like Same thing with app. I'm pretty sure there are parties where everybody is on their phone, you know, but there's a subset. Like I only go to like Time Wizard parties, you know what I'm saying, or 828 what's the 828 rewind parties, you know? So like those type of parties look a little different.
Yeah, and honestly it just depends too. It really just depends on the crowd.
Facts, yeah.
For real. That's really all it is.
But I like hanging with the people that just have fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, all that, you know, like after the race thing. Obviously, I'm still from East Charlotte. I still have, you know, my edge to an extent, but I still allow myself to experience that level of freedom with who I am. You know, and I feel like that's something that everybody should have. I take my culture with me everywhere I go. Is innately in me. I can't pretend like I'm not who I am. Yeah. So I still have that always with me, but I still offer myself the freedom to experience the moment that I'm in.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy that there are such different cultures like within the same state.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That is wild.
Just imagine the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the world is.
If y'all could travel, where's y'all's like first place you would travel if you had like infinite money glitch? You could like travel.
Infinite money glitch.
Yeah, you could travel. You could travel anywhere.
Like GTA.
Yep.
I'll go to Liberia.
Liberia?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Revisit your roots.
Yeah, man. I have to go back to Liberia. I haven't been there yet. I just got my passport. I got people there that I want to meet.
I would go to probably go to like Rome.
Rome?
Yeah, ancient
like
Rome.
The Colosseum
or actually Egypt.
Oh wait, is that in Greece?
Egypt. So who built the pyramids and how? Let's talk today.
Who built the pyramids and how? The Egyptians built the pyramids.
Aliens.
Well, yeah.
But how is because hey how is I think the more important question is why.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
hear
a
about
lot
that?
of
You know how
work.
precise they are,
It's
right?
just crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it,
super
like,
Yeah, we've
precise.
talked about that shit
Yeah.
how
before.
like lines up with all the doesn't it? Don't the pyramids like line up with all the? It lines up with something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it lines up with like the stars and shit.
Yeah,
It's pretty
And-
something
weird.
crazy.
It is very weird, and
pretty
it's actually
weird.
in the like on a geographical level. It's in the center. Like if you take the square, like I didn't know this till here recently. If you take the squares that the base of the pyramid is, and then you take the whole world, and then you put it like flat. Then you take the whole world and then you divide that by all of those squares. It is in the center of the whole
Bro,
world.
don't lie to me, bro.
I'm not lying to you, bro.
Bro,
I'm not lying to you.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah. You definitely need to look
Yeah.
that shit up, bro. It's in the direct center.
That's weird as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy.
And
There can only be so many coincidences until it's weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what's so
like-
wild. That's why it's one of the wonders.
There's a lot to it's more than a wonder. I feel like there's going to be something eventually that people are going to start to question. I feel like
Imagine if you
it's
could
a
go
tomb
back and like
bullshit.
see
It's not
how
a
they
tomb.
did that shit. Or
Yeah.
or another thing, when I was a kid, because they really
I think it's a beacon.
they
Bro.
built this up
Could
in middle school. But there's like, did y'all hear about like Roanoke, the lost colony or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roanoke
Yeah.
Island?
Yeah, like they just disappeared, and it's like, how'd they disappear? Like when I was a kid, I was like, damn, if I could like go in a time machine and like figure
Yeah.
that shit out, because that shit is just crazy. It's like there's
Do
some
you
people
think
in
that
some
people
place
figured it out.
like.
Figured what
What do
out?
you mean?
Like
You think,
figured
like,
out like
people
what?
know,
Like, do you
and
think
they're
that
not
there's-
telling you?
Yeah. Like, do you think people know?
I
what the
think
pyramids
about that a
were?
lot. I feel like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think about that so much. I think about like famous people, like when they pretend to not know stuff. I wonder if they actually do.
Yeah.
Like on some Illuminati type shit?
Like
I don't
Area
think it'll be
51
famous
shit.
people. I don't think it'll be famous people that will be the one holding the fucking keys. To
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
I don't
feel
think so either. I
True,
think it's
true.
the people above them,
Yeah.
and then above those people.
Yeah. I feel like there's a couple levels up from
Yeah.
from like an artist or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
I think artists just hold influence, but they don't
Uh-huh.
hold power. I feel like true power is not held by someone that face holds all the value. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I think true power is held by knowledge. Those who hold knowledge hold power.
Mm.
And I feel like the people who gatekeep that knowledge are the people that hold real power.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
they don't want to be fucking seen.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes for
Yeah.
sure.
For real.
True.
But I think, do you think that type of knowledge should be given to the general population?
What
I
type
just
of
feel like
knowledge, though?
Certain people aren't ready.
Any
for
knowledge,
certain
all knowledge.
things.
Do you think everybody should have? Do you think the library shouldn't have been burnt down?
Oh, like that type of shit. No, I don't think it should have been burnt down.
So you think everybody should have
Yeah.
access to that knowledge?
Yes.
I feel like so. I think this generation would be completely different if everybody did. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
if this generation was given that knowledge, we would destroy each other.
Because
Or
if
would we be
everybody
able
has
to
that
do
knowledge, though, then everybody would be set on an equal playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were required to know all of that shit, and then they were required to know basic information like we're not taught in schools,
You know, another thing
then
I
we
think
would
about-
all be on the same
It's done
level,
on
and there would
purpose,
not
though.
be any sort of power. But there also has to be leaders in some sense, because there are leaders and there are followers, regardless
This is
of
another
any
thing to think about.
situation.
This is like complete, not off topic, but it's within the same topic. Technology in general, like the power current, electricity, that's just one path to evolution. I feel like.
Mm.
I feel like there's multiple paths to evolution. Like I'm pretty sure that people a long time ago, because like the pyramids were built before technology existed, so there had to be other forms of power that we don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe there was another form. Like there has to be multiple avenues that we took. We took technology and it formed into this avenue of like AI, and that's like the ultimate form of technology.
Yeah.
But suppose like there's another form of evolution of growth that people were on at one point, like, and they were able to create things like the pyramids and like It's kind of hard to explain.
Like it was a library, like the Library of Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought that you was talking
It was
about.
burnt
That's what I was
down.
talking about, yeah.
There's a lot of technologies that were destroyed or gotten rid of, and like sometimes people even find them like centuries later. Like there was a shipwreck off the coast of like the Mediterranean that had like a mechanical device that was almost on the same level as like a computer, but it was from like 300 BC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the knowledge how to build it was destroyed.
I feel like
lost technologies.
I feel like we were always gonna like develop technology in the way that it is now. I just think the burning of the libraries like slowed that down.
Yeah,
Do you
like,
think that this is the same? You think it would eventually came to this?
Yeah, I feel like it.
I don't think so, bro.
You
I don't think so either.
I feel like, bro, I feel
It'd
like
be completely different. Yeah,
think about
I think
Nikola
so,
Tesla
too.
and vibration.
Yeah.
He he said if you want to think of in terms of if you want to understand the universe, think of in terms of like vibration or something. He said something along those lines. I wish I knew the exact quote, but just studying vibration in general, you can create energy out of pure vibration.
Yeah.
Everything vibrates at all times.
Yeah.
You know, and if our evolutionary path from like a technology standpoint went in the direction of vibration, maybe you could levitate a $20,000 block in the air and create a pyramid. You never know, you know, because like everything vibrates. Like this like I wonder if there are other paths to creation that we just don't even know. Damn. Like other dimensions of creation.
Yeah.
Like other dimensions of evolution.
I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, because like we're so like we think that all evolution is just solely based on electrical current. What if electrical current was taken out of the picture? What other form of evolution would it be? Would it be spiritual? Would it be vibrational? Would it be magnets? Would it be like what would be the basis outside of the AC/DC, you know, currents or whatever it's called? A whatever the current is called.
Yeah. It's basically like in the same like there has been a whole bunch of different technologies that are or I would say is better than the technology that we have, but it's a different type of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like those civilizations, like you would say, like the Egyptians or like the Mayans or other types of cultures as well, and other types of not necessarily cultures, but civilizations. Other types of civilizations that had different technologies and maybe were even better than the technologies that we have now, but they were completely different than the modern technology that we have. And I see what you're saying, like the different types of evolution as well is because there's the technology does tend to evolve, and then what knowledge we have of that technology tends to stay with us. That's what's so crazy about the internet too, is that we still have that. We have all of it leading up to now, like all of what we know. So that's why, like on the AI thing, whenever we talk about like AI, it's like like what can you ask an AI that humans don't know? Like there's nothing. Even if you did ask the AI what humans don't know, it's not going to be able to answer it, because that's what people think. People think that the AI is going to be able to answer what humans don't know.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is that it's not going to be able to, because the AI is only programmed to know what humans know and all of human history, what we have.
It's just a very smart intellect. That's literally all it is. It can only know what has been programmed to know.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have a soul, which makes AI art like a crazy thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It really is.
It's really weird. Really weird.
I don't really fuck with AI art. Like I wish it didn't exist, but like I know I'm gonna have to use it just because it's gonna be so big.
But I feel like people will start to value imperfection a lot more as time goes on, because imperfection is what's gonna make us feel human. I feel like as people start to rely more and more on AI, real people are going to value imperfection, not corporations. Corporations are going to probably solely rely on AI to some extent. Yeah,
because they're all about time and speed too, and then that's what gets it done faster instead of having to wait on somebody else to do it.
Human ways have probably become archaic in a way.
Well, I think that the jobs that AIs are going to take over is going to essentially make humans adapt more, and then they are going to have to find other ways in order to do the things that they do.
Facts.
You know, Like you do graphic design.
Yeah.
And bro, like AI, bro, that's one of
coming
the
for that shit.
Yep,
instantly,
graphic design.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the first things that's going is
that's why
graphic
I'm getting
design.
into sales, bro. Because I'm like,
Yeah,
you can never
definitely.
replace. You always gonna need someone to sell you something.
Exactly. There's always gonna be shit to sell for sure.
The only way to overcome AI as a graphic designer is to become so unique within yourself that AI has to copy you.
Yeah.
You have to literally have a flair, have something to yourself that is solely you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like AI can copy a Picasso, yes, but it
Yeah.
has to literally copy Picasso.
Yeah, that's why I'm not worried about like hand paintings either.
Yeah. Like you should never have to worry.
It's
like,
because that shit's always gonna be around.
it's always you. It's
Right.
always
Yeah,
you.
like an AI's not gonna be able to hand paint anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I mean, they are gonna be able to set it up. I bet to where
Mm-hmm.
they are gonna be able to paint off of what like they know, like what, but it's not gonna come from the soul, if you would.
It's like calculated
You know.
imperfections.
It's calculated,
Like-
exactly.
I think people would still want to desire like the real deal too.
Exactly.
They'd want to I think it would probably make what you're doing even more desirable.
Exactly. Like the random strokes and the imperfection is
Mhm.
definitely what people are going to gravitate towards more. And then they are going to desire that more because that's, it's original.
It's like some people don't.
I feel like having like human art set up in my house, and then like thinking
Human
about a house
art is crazy.
and then
as
have
fuck.
It is.
and then having like like thinking about a house that has human art, and then thinking about a
Yeah.
house that has AI art. Like I'd rather like be in an environment where with human art. I feel like that would feel more like a more natural environment, whereas like an AI art environment would feel more like
It's like geometric and
Yeah.
organic, like
kind of like
feel.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
It's a scary world we live in.
It is very scary.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Who would ever
time.
thought the humans would
And-
lose their value?
And
Yeah.
It's like our values being diminished.
Not even to talk about like AI music. Like have y'all heard
Yes.
like the Drake shit?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I've
ain't gonna
heard it.
lie. I heard some AI Drake shit, and I was like, "Damn,
This
that
shit's
shit's harder.
hard.
Yeah.
That shit's harder
Yeah.
than actual Drake."
Yeah.
I hate that it's so good, bro. Like,
Yes,
like,
me too, bro.
For real.
Dang, that's
Damn
crazy.
it. Yeah, it does suck.
Like AI artists, bro.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. to
Yeah.
think
Drake
about.
should just disturb the algorithm by creating a rock song and just fuck the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's
Because he-
AI stop? How is it AI being stopped from getting into the algorithm themselves?
Right.
If the AIs know the algorithm, then how can't they just be a part of
They
the
are the
algorithm?
algorithm.
Maybe they are the algorithm. That's what I'm saying. Literally.
Damn.
Yeah.
The algorithms is played off of AI.
Damn. And
Yeah,
the
that's
AI
wild.
that you see now is like the worst that it's ever going to be. It's literally it can only get better from here.
Yeah.
You ever think of your flesh as like an organic robot?
Yeah.
A
yeah.
sentient robot?
Have y'all seen y'all mess with anime?
Yeah.
Have y'all seen like Neon Genesis Evangelion?
No.
Mhm.
That's like where like they're basically just like fighting in these like mechs. And
Uh-huh.
I think my body's like a mech, and like my mind is like a little like person, like
Little person at the-
piloting the mech sometimes.
Yeah. Like in the Matrix.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does a lot
yeah.
of drugs.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it though, for real. So that was mad random. But the reason why I said that is because like I feel like there's gonna come a time where like there's gonna be sentient AI.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's gonna be a question of like what is a human? Like if
Mhm.
you slap an AI and it screams, is that human? And do they get rights? And I know that conversation
And do they feel that?
because I think
Yep.
there was something that happened, like there's like an AI dog or something like that, and someone kicked it and everybody got mad or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's like, at what point, where do you draw the line between humans and sentient AI? Because that's going to be a very honest question in like the next 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are going to associate humanism or being a human with having emotion
Have
or
y'all
having
seen-
perceived emotion.
Have y'all heard the video game Detroit Become Human?
Oh,
I don't-
no.
I've heard of it, but I never played it.
It was like a game that was popular a few years ago where it was like these like super human like AI like robots were around, and it was just talking about a bunch of different questions about like, do they deserve rights, like would they be able to
yeah.
like stand up for themselves if they were hit?
Like iRobot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, Will
Like
Smith.
2004,
Yeah.
2005, it came out a few years
Yeah.
before I Am Legend.
Yeah.
I remember that movie.
It's so weird, man.
It is really weird.
It's like whoever is in charge of making the rules in the future have a very, very, very important task at hand.
Yeah. My biggest concern is that people are gonna rely on AI too much.
We already do.
Yeah.
Not AI, we rely on technology too much.
Just technology, just way too much.
Humans
and then I think something's gonna happen, and then there's not gonna be technology for a little bit, and then people are gonna get fucked.
I think it's worse. I think nothing's gonna happen. People are gonna slowly become more and more and more reliant on technology to where we give up our rights to it.
What about
I think Elon Musk is right when he said the only way forward at this point is to combine yourself with it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
like you become a cyborg in a way.
What happens when we start like becoming robots? Like we start like integrating our minds into like robot bodies, or we start like getting like robotic arms.
Like
and,
even with your phone right now, it's kind of like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'll never put it in my body. There's people that actually do it. Like most people, a lot of people, especially at Apple that I talk to, they're like, "Yo, hell yeah, I'm doing it." I'm like, "Hey, yo." I mean, no, they're dead serious. Like that's like a common thing. Like people are really into that because they think that's just another
like
part
Neuralink?
of our evolution. Yeah, like they think that's another part of our evolutionary process is to combine with technology because we've become so reliant on it that people don't want to use their brains no more. We have all the answers at the tip of our fingers, and because of that, what's the point of trying to learn? What's the point of going through the tedious task of learning when you can just rely on technology to give you all the perspectives of people's lives at one time?
Yeah,
and that's what's happening.
That's so scary to like think that someone would rather like just get the answers like that than have to go through the process of like learning, because the process is where you really grow. Yeah, it's not like the answers that really help you out. It's like the process towards the answers, and then those lead to different answers. So it's like if you just know everything at once like that, it's like I just don't think that's the way to a happy life.
Yeah.
I saw this one video. It was talking about like a prediction for the future, and it was where like, have you guys seen that new headset that Apple released where it was like, it was like a new AI, it was like virtual reality.
Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I saw like this one thing where it was like, you're going to have like a headset that's going to be like connected to like the real world. And so like, you'll be able to like look at someone and like scan their face and like know who they are. Or like, look at a product at the store and like be able to see all its like stats, like like all the stats on the screen and stuff. Yeah. Or like see like directions to go somewhere.
Like driving and it'll have like the GPS on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like crazy
augmented reality.
Like
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
that's
just so wild. Really gonna turn into like.
And you got the self-driving cars too.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, because it's weird. Honestly, man, we're in a really like weird transitional
what a time to
period.
Be alive.
Yeah, we're getting to see it all. This is the epicenter, like.
Yeah, definitely.
This is like what our parents were like thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Like Back to the Future, they probably watched that and they're like, "Oh, like that's what the future's gonna be like." Haha. I wonder like what it's gonna be like. We're like in that time. It's like crazy.
Definitely.
It's like the ideas for that technology were there, but the technology hadn't matured yet.
Yeah.
But now the technology matured and you're actually starting to see it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. Think about other people who passed away and the only thing they saw was horse and buggy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, they missed this whole period of life where like, and it only happened within like a 50-year span.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where like everything changed so quick. You know, like, bro, like this time that we're in right now is redefining everything.
For real.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It really is.
It's interesting. And that's why I wrote Eyes Wide. I'm just
that's why.
Yeah. No, I just kind of talk about my transitional period. It kind of all plays in hand.
Definitely.
But I think there is paths to evolution. Like outside of technology, outside of everything, if you like take technology away, you evolve differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
You should always have periods of disconnection where you just kind of take time just to figure out more about who you are. Because there was life before technology.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. People don't know that.
Yeah, like you know, there's little kids who literally don't know a life outside of technology.
Literally,
that's crazy,
which is terrifying to think.
Yeah.
Like, there's a life outside of all this, and that life is who you really are. So
that's why I like to think that I'm like pretty fortunate that whenever I was a kid. How old are you?
23.
How old are you?
20.
Yeah. So then y'all probably know. Maybe not sure. You as much.
I didn't know, but my parents didn't really like technology. Like I was never an iPad kid. Like they weren't really with that.
I spent every single day.
I had to have a flip phone in middle school.
Yeah.
Type shit. Like my parents were pretty cool with that stuff.
Yeah.
In the time I didn't think it was cool, but like now I definitely appreciate like that they did that, because
for sure
I have a better appreciation of like, okay, like this is my technology, like this is me, like I'm not like it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So
And I'm glad that I had those. Like whenever I was a kid, I'm glad that I was able to like interact with people without having to be on my phone. You know, and then whenever you had to like real life shit where you didn't have to rely on your phone to do this and do that, like if somebody says that they're going to be there at X time, then they're going to be there at X time. And if they're not, then you're just going to have to wait it out or like, cause nobody's going to be able to tell you that they're not going to be there or they.
That's another thing,
you know,
with our generation is like, I feel like technology has really decreased our patience level because we need something to do at all times.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, the shit where it's like fucking Subway Surfers while you're watching another video while you're watching Family Guy. It's like we need instant gratification.
Everybody thinks they have ADHD.
Yeah,
you don't have ADHD. You're just addicted to technology.
It's constant overstimulation.
But it's like it's with everything. It's like Amazon first day delivery, Tinder. It's like you're always like looking for the next dopamine hit.
Always.
And it's like you never give yourself a time to like just stop and like take a break. Yeah. Like I don't know. Do you guys like meditate at all?
All the time.
Not anymore.
I think you used to meditate.
Yeah, I don't anymore. I don't need to anymore. I've integrated it into my life.
That's
or
cool.
I'm constantly meditating. I don't need to. I don't get stressed about anything. Like whenever I'm doing something that normal people would stress about, I just take that time to meditate.
I've heard of I know what you're talking about.
Like I've been meditating this whole time that we've been having this conversation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
How do you do that?
I know what you're talking about.
On some real shit though.
You got it. So you know how you meditate, right?
Yeah.
So you constantly control like your breath. You don't really like control everything that's around you. It's the complete opposite. You just let everything that's around you just constantly happen.
Because I told you like I'm premeditated as a person sometimes. So like because of that, it forces me to be in a constant state of like, you know, like I'm always on it. So like it's really difficult for me to just let go in the present moment unless I meditate.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to get to a state where I'm like that, to where like I'm in a constant state of just comfortability. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So
I feel
like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
For real.
It's really just being comfortable, like in any situation that you're in. And if you ever get a sense of you're not comfortable in whatever you're in,
it's like stopping and like recognizing that you're in the present moment.
Exactly. Like that goes back to like the bad trip. Like I've always refer back to that because I know that in any situation that I'm in, it's definitely not as bad as that. You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool.
And then I refer back to that and I'm like, you know, like even if things are getting pretty stressful, it's not as shitty as it possibly can be. And then I just take a second to breathe or I focus on my breath. And nowadays I really don't need to. It's just it's just like unconsciously done and it's something that I just automatically do.
That's
like
great.
Without thinking about it. Like that's why I also don't get writer's block anymore as well.
Same.
Like if I like that's how I'm able to constantly crank like these paintings. That's how I'm always able to constantly crank out paintings.
That's my new task.
Constantly do things and not get stressed about it is because I'm able to be within the moment and just control my breath, if you would. Not really control it, but if I'm getting some sort of anxiety, I just revert back to breathing and just not even that. It's just I'm constantly breathing, so I can just come back to this, like be grounded in this very moment.
I think it's really cool that you do that. Like that's an important like state to be in for sure. But I would argue that like it's still important to maybe take like 15, 20, 30 minutes out of your day and just like stop everything you're doing and just like close your eyes and just like be like still, maybe.
Yeah,
like that's what I do now to like kind of get that grounded.
That's why, because I have been trying to like integrate it into my day-to-day life still, but even then like I still try to meditate like for at least 20 minutes a day, just because I feel like we're, as humans in this generation, like we're always like doing something, always on to the next thing. So it's like it's important to like show yourself, or at least it's important for me to show myself how I am, that like I can stop.
It's like letting your mind rest.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's the one thing about the shroom trip that I kind of miss. I don't miss the trip itself because the trip was terrifying. But when I was on the shoot trip, I got the realization that I felt like life was just a series of tasks. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that was like that was the weirdest thing about it. I felt like, you know, I was just completing tasks every single day. Just every single day I had to complete, and I got this feeling in my stomach like I'm so tired of completing tasks.
Yeah.
And then I realized you don't have to complete tasks. You can really just be present in the moment. And that's how I created the project, because I was in the afterglow of the shooting trip just kept me in such a now, a present moment type of, you know, space. And I lost that. And obviously coming down from the shooting trip and all type of stuff, I kind of lost that sense of being present, because my life is work right now. Like, because I'm trying so hard to, you know, make it in this industry right now, that I run into trying to complete so many tasks, and you lose track of the present moment sometimes, because you're planning for this podcast, I plan for this, I plan for that. Consistently, I'm always planning something new that you lose track of. Hey, you can relax.
Oh, and being organized too.
Yeah, organization.
That's another thing
Getting it out of my head
that I didn't say as well, because you asked me how I did it, and that is one of the biggest things. I write everything down. Anytime that I have a thought, I write it down so I can essentially forget about it.
So important. I'm actually,
it's not even like forgetting about it. It's writing it down so that you have it there.
To, like, keep it rolling around in your head.
Exactly, and then that frees up your mind to just be in this present moment, because the problem is with whenever people sit down that don't meditate, whenever they sit down to meditate, that is the problem, is that they have these constant thoughts that you can't control, because you can't control what you think, but you can control how you think.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. So whenever you have those thoughts in your head, it also goes on along with perception as well, because all of the thoughts that you have is what you perceive life to be. So first of all, you have to change your perception, change the way that you think, and because you can't control what you think. Mm-hmm. So if you can control the way that you think, then in your perception, then you can see everything for what it is, or what you perceive it to be, and then you can base everything around that. You essentially have to have some sort of moral structure, but that's another topic. But whenever you have all those thoughts, and then you have a thing after a thing after another, whatever you have to do, tasks and tasks and tasks that constantly have to be completed, you can organize those tasks and then prioritize those tasks. And then whenever you're in the present moment like this, you're able to be in this present moment and not be stressed about anything, because everything is organized, and then you know that all those tasks are going to be completed in a timely manner.
Do you write your tasks on paper, or do you just type it in your phone?
I do both.
Okay. That's
at the same time,
because my phone leads to a lot of distractions. I'm asking you for legit advice, like, because this is important to me. This is my form of growth. This is something that I'm gonna take this to heart. Like, I really am learning from you right now. I agree 100%. Getting it out of your head is probably one of the most important things to me, because I get overwhelmed, because I have a lot that I have to do to get to where I want to go.
Absolutely.
And I have a bad habit of not writing any of that out. I'll just think about it, and having that swirl around my head probably leads to a lot of the overwhelming feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
And he has that problem too.
Not writing it out.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
And you just gotta write it down. You know what I'm saying? It's
important.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back to using pen and paper.
Like, for real.
Like, because I feel like when I use my phone, I end up getting distracted, because I severely need a dopamine detox. You know,
with your phone though, it's good to. It's just convenient. That's why.
The problem.
That's the problem with it, is that it's convenient. So I'll write it, type it down on my spare the moment thoughts that I have that I can't write down on a piece of paper or write down in my journal or notebook. Then I'll get out my phone and then I'll type it down. Like, I have so many notes, like my list of notes, and then my notes are even organized too. It's the organization of your thoughts too that helps you, because you can have like a scattered, like in my notebook, you can see like rough drafts of where I'm trying, because it takes a lot to organize everything, every single little thing that is going on in your day, and then you have your goals. Like, goals are always good, and it also sets on responsibility to yourself as well, because the more responsible you are with certain things or just everything in your life, then the more purpose that you have. You know, responsibility gives purpose. And then that's another topic as well. But
discipline,
it's good, and it's also good to have discipline too, in order to organize everything and then prioritize everything as well, because there's a lot of shit that goes along with life. And then whenever you're able to organize and prioritize everything, then you're able to acknowledge and then know at all times where you're at in the process of where you want to be. And then that's where
that's a tattoo. I'm getting that shit tattooed on me.
that's where success comes into hand too, because you can't have success if you don't have any goals. You know, that's the problem with a lot of people, is that they want success, like you said, going onto the social media thing, is that they always see everybody that is successful. But then you ask them what their version of success is, and then they have no idea.
Facts.
They don't know.
They don't even have a plan.
They don't even have a plan. They don't even have, the reason is because they don't even have a goal. Mm-hmm. And then even if they did have a goal, they don't know the steps that they have to take in order to get to that goal.
Yeah. And the thing is that I was talking to him about it on the ride over, but like I feel like everyone like intrinsically like has an idea of where they're supposed to go if they like really sit down and think about it, you know? Yeah. But I feel like we're so like distracted with work or like our other responsibilities in life that like a lot of people don't even like really think about where they want to be. They just want to be successful, and they don't take time to think about why or how. And I feel like all you need to do is really like have some conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like recently I've just been more in tune with like my path, and like I used to be always thinking like like stressed out, like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, like I don't know what I'm gonna be when I'm gonna grow up. And now I'm more chill about it because I'm like I know what I need to do now. The steps are laid out for you when you really like stop stressing about it and just be like, okay, I'm gonna like you get to the bottom of it. I don't know. A lot of people don't want to do that though, because then
it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then once you realize where you got to go, you got to face the fact that you got to work to get there. And a lot of people don't
because they want the instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly.
And then usually every big goal takes a lot of work and a lot of discipline and a lot of time.
It takes more time than what you think it will a lot of times.
Yeah. Or you want it to.
I think doing Forex kind of like got me out of the quick mindset. You know, I started to realize nothing in life happens quickly.
Doing what?
Forex.
That's like, the trading of currencies.
Yeah, I
used to do that a lot.
Yeah, it's lit. We should talk about it one of these days, bro. I was heavy into Forex. Only reason why I'm not now is because I'm shopping for purpose and not so much just financial gain. Obviously, when the time comes, I'll get back into Forex when I have a good amount of when I have enough money to start to where I can make increases.
Forex, it's where you're trained like trading different currencies around the world and trying to get like a gain out of trading one for another one. Is that what it was?
It's basically when you go to the bank and you take a US dollar and go to the bank and get like a euro. Okay. And then you take it back and make it a US dollar again. Now you have a little bit extra money because it was a euro for a little while. Mm-hmm. It's basically that same trade-off, just digitally, just really quick and digital.
Is it kind of like day trading in a way?
You don't have to day trade Forex. You can trade Forex on whatever chart you choose. You can do it daily, and there's a lot of gains that can happen on a daily chart. But long-term gains, bigger gains, more drawn-out gains happen on like the 4-hour or daily or 3-month chart.
Okay. Yeah, and that's hard to scale too because inflation too. Because if you decide to hold it for a while,
especially what happened to the U.S. dollar as of recently,
the inflation in the U.S. may be different than the inflation in Mexico.
Yeah.
So then it gets kind of tough trying to trade those off.
Yeah, I've seen posts where like they'll like Turkey, like the country of Turkey, like they had like 100% inflation over like 10 years or something like that. It was something ridiculous. Like that, like 10 years ago.
Or like Argentina.
Yeah, just terrible inflation.
I'm trying to think about what that
like
other
a loaf
place.
of bread's like $1,000.
Yeah, it's
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
like and now everything's about to change because U.S. dollars always been the base currency for a lot of other currencies, but a lot of countries, a lot of countries are trying to kick the U.S. dollar, which is
I think it's like a reserve
currency.
It's
a reserve currency, but it's not backed by anything.
Yeah,
it was backed by gold, but like we always talk about this. Like back in the 70s, like it was cut off. The gold, like it was backed by gold, and then in the 70s it was cut off.
And if you look at inflation rates back then in the 70s, it was pretty bad. And then you had interest rates like back in the 80s for a house would be like 14%. And I don't know if like to put that in perspective, like interest rates now are probably like around like 4%, so which is ridiculous. But that was to combat inflation because they were trying to take money out of of the monetary system in order to like kind of. There was too much money.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to figure out what do we do now that this isn't pinged to some gold, because there's only so much gold. But when you start just print, like when the COVID was going on, they made those stimulus bills.
Yeah.
Somebody went to a computer and typed in $2 trillion, and then now there's $2 trillion.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. They didn't print out $2 trillion.
Synthetic inflation.
It was
That's
just
the problem with money going digital.
They can control how much it goes up and down.
They can control the value of it. They can control everything surrounding it.
Yep.
A very dangerous game.
It's very.
And then the consequences for that don't play out until several months or a few years later.
Oh, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah, and
Very
that's why you see inflation now. Now the Fed are trying to keep on raising interest rates.
So now the currency is only backed by what the people believe that it is.
What it's worth, and then
But then when it all goes digital, you won't have a choice but to believe what it is.
And then whenever it all goes digital too, AI can get a hold of it.
Yeah, when it all goes digital too, it can be cut off whenever it wants to be.
Yeah.
Like in China, social credit scores, all types of shit.
Yeah, hopefully the money will get caught up in the algorithm though.
Oh, fuck.
Get caught up in the algorithm and come my way.
You know what I mean? Yo, you hear about the never mind. That's why no, fuck it. You hear about what happened with Cash App, bro?
What happened?
Anybody that had state employees credit union for like 2 hours, bro, they were just pulling out thousands of dollars.
What the fuck?
If you had state employees credit union, people were literally just pulling out money out of thin air, and Cash App literally had to, because my bank account got disconnected from Cash App. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
I have state employees credit union. I was like, why? And then 2 seconds later, I get a call. Bro, do you got state employee credit union? Bro, pull out $1,000 right now. I promise you can do it. I'm like, bro, you lying.
Oh shit.
Bro, no, you can literally do it for a period of time, like 4 hours. People were pulling out thousands of dollars out of thin air.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, so I mean,
whoa.
yeah. But they patched it, of course.
Yeah,
but,
of course they did.
Yeah, but for a period of time, people became
infinite money glitch.
Infinite money glitch.
It happened. A literal money glitch happened out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah.
But
Matrix.
the reason why I said that is because the reason why I brought up Forex is because it taught me the long game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With anything that you're doing in life and like any passion that you have, you gotta remember that they all take time.
You gotta be patient.
You have to be patient.
Consistency, bro.
Consistency and
there's
work.
like there's no bullshit if you want to make it in whatever field you're in, it takes the same amount of work for everybody who's made it.
Consistency and discipline.
You have
patience.
to have it. Like that's the determining factor. You can see it in someone's face when they're actually doing something where they're dedicating their life to it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're actually like serious about it. So that's why I'm at.
Yeah, I've been trying to like stop. I feel like that the one of the big opponents of like discipline, consistency, all that is comparison, bro. Because you can because like say me, like I'm just about to start like video editing, right? And like say I'm seeing like all these great music directors that I look up to, like Cole Bennett, Lone Wolf, all that. And it's like I'm like, damn, like, it doesn't look like that yet. Like I could get so mad about it, but like I've already made up my mind that I'm gonna like enjoy the process of learning this task that I really want to do with my life. So, yeah, like I feel like I'm kind of scared in advance that I won't be able to do that, but I'm also like trying to prepare myself for those feelings, if that makes sense.
Well, your beginning is not somebody's middle.
Yeah,
that's what you're comparing it to. You're comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle or end.
Yeah,
and then that's like you or me comparing ourselves to like Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or like Cole Bennett that's been doing it for years and years and years.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Quentin Tarantino is like another big influence. I just recently watched all his movies.
Really?
Because I had watched like Pulp Fiction before,
Django.
But like, and I'd watched Django before, but like, like I just watched like Death Proof. That was like one of his like his older video stuff, and like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Like Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight. Crazy. It's like only like two like scene or two like environments that they're in, like the whole movie.
I want to say Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards is
Isn't that one Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, that's another crazy movie.
That's a good ass movie.
What would you say your favorite Quentin Tarantino?
Probably honestly, Hateful Eight is good as fuck.
Yeah,
that one's good. But Inglourious
like
Bastards
the Western
too.
movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a newer Western movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good ass movie.
It's on Netflix, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah,
as of now.
I watched it. Yeah.
And of course, Django's good. Oh, actually, Pulp Fiction is a fucking classic.
Yeah. Are y'all big into movies? I love movies.
A little bit.
I gotta get more into movies. Like I'm into movies, yeah, but from more like a watcher's perspective. Like,
not modern movies.
Right. Yeah, not into like directors. Like this one director who I'm just getting. I was just told a lot about all his like shots, like very center. Mm-hmm. I forgot his name, but like that's Wyatt's favorite director. But I'm learning a lot about the art of making a movie.
Yeah,
you know
this is very interesting. I feel like I definitely making a movie is definitely on my bucket list. Like that would be an amazing thing to do.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
But
bro, what was you gonna say?
Huh?
What was you gonna say?
Talking about earlier?
Yeah, bro, you was looking over there and you was like, "What the fuck?"
I was looking at your book list and I just saw Mein Kampf.
Oh, Mein Kampf. Yeah,
Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. I was like, bro, what is that book about, bro?
You don't know what that's about?
No,
that's a book that Hitler wrote.
About what?
About his beliefs on everything.
Is it interesting?
Yeah,
it's
crazy as fuck. Yeah. I haven't read all of it, but
Hitler was like, bro, Hitler was like jacked off fucking meth.
Oh
they had him like so hyped up.
Amphetamines.
I recently saw this video of him like at the Olympic Games, and he's like fucking.
Oh yeah, he's tweaking.
He's tweaking.
Yeah, bro. He's off of so many different drugs, bro.
Hitler was a tweaker.
Yes. Bro.
Yeah, bro. You didn't know that shit?
Nah,
bro. How you think that he was able to get all those things done that he wanted to get done?
Damn, I thought that was just a cool guy. I'm playing. I'm just playing. Chill.
But they're gonna clip that.
No, I know.
Nah. It's
you're finished, bro. You're finished.
No, it's good to know. Because he was human too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all those thoughts that he had.
That's like what Kanye was saying.
Any human can have.
Yeah.
Any human can have any sort of thoughts. And no, Kanye was just straight up saying that he hated a certain group. he was like literally.
Yeah. You and he.
And I showed I showed the clip to you
to clarify what he meant. And he said, "No, I mean I hate."
Because
them.
he did.
I didn't see that.
I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole interview.
It's pretty bad.
He literally said that and it was Alex Jones with him too. And Alex Jones was like,
I fuck with Alex Jones.
He was like, wait, so. I think what you're trying to say is, and then he was like, no, and then he straight up said it, and I was like, damn. But I think he was just saying that just to get a reaction. I don't think that's
Kanye. I think
I still feel like Kanye is just like very misunderstood.
Yeah, he is in a lot of ways, but I feel like obviously controversy sells. He may have been taking advantage of that at that period of time, but he does have a lot of viewpoints that I do agree with. And a lot that I don't.
Yeah,
it's Kanye West.
Yeah,
real.
But that book, it's good to or just any book on any sort of perspective that you, especially with perspectives that you disagree with.
Because then you can think about like, why don't I? And then you're like challenging your mind.
It fortifies your own belief.
It's definitely good. It's 100% good to understand why people do the things that they do, especially with a person like that had some sort of a bunch of different beliefs that, especially from the perspective that he was able to convince everybody else of his beliefs too,
which is crazy,
and go along with it.
Does that book talk about that, or it just kind of breaks down his belief system?
He wrote the book. He went to jail for a long time, and he wrote about his experiences in jail too. And I think he wrote part of the book in jail as well. And he actually talked about wanting to become a dictator too, but it really talked about, there's a lot of his ignorance in it, and you really understand where he came from, because it's also essentially a little bit of an autobiography as well.
Okay.
Because you really do get to understand his perspective on certain things.
You start to kind of fuck with it, right?
Well, I start to understand certain things. And at the same time, he was very much an incest baby.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No.
His grandpa, I think his grandpa is like his dad.
No fucking way.
Or some stupid shit like that. It's like direct incest. It's not like it's not like it's fucked up shit. And then that also that also goes into like him as a person, because whenever there's incest, there can also be a bunch of problems that happens with the child,
like mentally. And stuff.
So mentally, so it a lot of it derived from birth too, like straight from birth, but not all of it. And then a lot of it was environmental. And he was abused as a child, and and being his damn. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like his grandpa is his dad or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember what the fuck it was, but it's something like that.
It's crazy to be like the parents of a person who like did all that stuff. Like, wow, what did you do?
And then he went through a whole bunch of different shit too.
Imagine being the son or the daughter of a person that did all that too.
Yeah, that'd be crazy too.
Goodness gracious!
Jeez.
I wonder if he
was
like
like
have
a
any
painter.
kids or anything like that.
Did he?
I don't know. Did he?
I couldn't imagine him not.
There are theories that he's like he wasn't dead and he like escaped to like South America.
He's most definitely like dead now. Though,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Like, he has to be. Right?
Yeah,
He served in World War One. I remember that.
Yeah, he's out of there.
He had kids.
Did he?
That's what I was looking up.
Imagine
Really?
having a last name. They most definitely changed the last name if he did. There's not a chance they kept
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Not a chance they kept the family name. That'd be so wild.
He had a
I was-
son. Yeah,
I
he
was-
did have a son.
Oh, shit.
Jean Marie Lauret.
Hitler.
Damn.
With a French woman named Charlotte.
Damn, so his offspring could just be
Lovejoy.
running around, bro.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't know. But it says that I think it's saying that his fuck. I think it's saying that fuck, man. I can't really get the whole thing. Well, and on top of that, others claim that biological father was also his grandfather. Was the saying that his grandfather was also his biological father was also the grandfather of Hitler's mother.
Oh wow,
Damn.
that's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that is crazy as fuck. And they were Jewish.
Are you kidding me?
Damn.
No, I'm not kidding. That's actually very true.
That's a lot. That adds a lot to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And so technically he was Jewish. Oh, did the camera cut off?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It may have died.
Damn.
Maybe that's just a sign for us to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Hey, wrap it up on Hitler, bro.
We should just wrap up the podcast. I think we're like 3 hours in.
Oh really?
Damn, that was a.
We started around 5, didn't we? I don't even know.
We're 3 hours and 15 minutes in.
Bro,
that might be the
imagine,
longest
bro,
podcast.
just
Making this the longest podcast that we've had.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bro, just
That's
let the
crazy as
podcast
fuck.
just end off on Hitler, bro. That would be fucking ridiculous. Just
No.
wholehearted entertainment. Just like,
No, I'm gonna have the I'll have the audio in there too.
Oh, where
Yeah.
type shit.
I can't believe that the camera just cut off.
That's
You know what's
wild.
gonna piss me off
What?
is if it didn't save any of that just because it cut off.
No,
But maybe it could be an
way.
audio only. But I don't think that's true
way.
though. I'm pretty sure that it saved all of
Damn,
it.
bro, that's so.
If you record on your iPhone though, it most definitely deletes that shit.
I'm guessing that. I'm guessing
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm guessing that it cut off. Because it was losing charge faster than it was charging. Because
Bro,
it's
I
on the
think-
charger right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, after we wrap this up, let's just go ahead and check that for my mental sake. Just to know.
yeah,
just to know.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, either
We
way, the
definitely-
podcast is fucking lit.
We
You know what I mean?
100% are.
Yeah.
Yep. And it turns out I had all the knobs incorrect the whole fucking
know.
time.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Just a 3-hour conversation.
All right, well, we'll catch you on the fucking flip side.
All right, peace,
Peace.
guys.
Peace.
Peace.
That's lit. All right, y'all. See y'all later.